13-13 tie with Indianapolis. Kicker Andy Borregales missed a 49-yard field goal in the final minute that would have put the Patriots ahead. He missed 3 of his 5 tries in all. Tommy DeVito is the starting quarterback, Mike Vrabel. He played the first half. He threw for 138 yards and a touchdown to Kyle Williams.
The guys in the receiver room, those guys are the first guys down there to celebrate his success. And I think that's, you just want to see guys that keep working and progressing and then see it translate into the football game.
The defense forced 4 turnovers as well. The next game is also at home a week from tomorrow night against Philadelphia. As for the Red Sox, they snapped a 5-game losing streak with a 7-0 win in Toronto yesterday. Peyton Tolley retired the last 17 hitters he faced. He allowed only 2 hits over 8 shutout innings in all. Caleb Durbin added a grand slam and 5 RBIs to the win as well. The Sox continue their road trip in Pittsburgh tonight. Also, reliever Garrett Whitlock was placed on the injured list with right elbow inflammation, and Greg Weissert called back up from Worcester. The NBA released its full regular season schedule yesterday, and on top of the home opener against the Knicks Friday night, October 23rd, there's a 7-game homestand in December, followed by a 6-game West Coast road trip through New Year's. Jaylen Brown's return to TD Garden isn't until Thursday night, January 21st. And Bridgewater, Massachusetts is going to the Little League World Series. They shut out Gray, Maine last night, 8-0 in the Northeast Regional Final. Bridgewater will play their first game in Williamsport Thursday night against the Metro Region winner. Bayonne, New Jersey plays Darien, Connecticut in that title game tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by DN Van Lines. Take the chance out of your next move and make the sure bet with DN Van Lines, an approved mover of the Department of Defense. DNVanlines.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Deep 3, violent 2-hand slam. Wow.
98.5 Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Yes, I finally shaved my nuts.
and Hardy
Who, me?
Just hanging around.
on 98.5.
Anchorman, heard about you.
Yeah.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
That's gross.
Not a great cook, but I do cook.
When I asked him about the sides,
Kick them in the balls.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
Blaze Bailey is omitted.
Toucher and Hardy
We're the best friends that can be, my buddy and me.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Is that Russell Westbrook?
Spicy. Russell Wilson.
Or Russell Wilson, rather. Ugh. Wow, that's a real kick to the balls early in the morning.
Can you dig it?
That doesn't hit the ear like it. It's spicy. Like,
Careful though. It's spicy.
yeah, like that's. Oof. I don't care for that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Woo! Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. We appreciate it, Nicholas.
I appreciate Nicholas getting here today. He had some automotive trouble this morning.
He popped a tire. He texted us at 5 in the morning saying that he popped a tire. My dog ate a bird this morning.
Huh?
No offense, John. I
Wow.
don't want to get off on the wrong foot.
Wait a second.
How did your dog capture the bird?
I don't know. I let the dog outside, and then the dog came in with feathers in its mouth.
Oh.
Interesting.
Maybe the bird was already dead?
The bird was probably already. I'm guaranteeing you the bird was already dead,
You got yourself a bird dog, Fred?
and it was eating the bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I left him outside because he's puked yesterday.
Oh.
He was eating something yesterday, and he puked in his crate, and I had to clean that up before I left. And then so I'm like, and then I'm leaving. I'm taking him to the kennel today, so I'll just come home, put a leash on him, and take him to the kennel, and then that's it.
Their problem.
Well, I think in order to properly reprimand him, you don't feed him when you get home either.
I fed him all right. I fed him outside.
it's
That's
too
how
bad.
that's how I got him outside. Is I did the scatter. The trainer when I first got him said that a good way to have him not eat as fast and fart all the time is to if the weather cooperates, sprinkle food on the back porch, so he like has to sniff and like pick it up piece by piece. And
You are this close to raising livestock.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you just stick that dog out on your acreage and just scatter his food around.
it's pretty much what it is. She says that it's their hunting instinct and that it helps them use their brain. That's what she says, or their foresting instinct, or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I told you when I switched our dogs over, our dog's food bowl over to the maize one, because she was just eating so fast, and then she would act a little weird, like her. You could tell she was a little bit off. I'm like, I think you're just eating too fast. I'll diagnose this thing. I'm gonna get one of those maize bowls. And first time I put it in it, and this dog has never refused food of any kind ever. And she looked at it and said, well, I'm not eating out of that. That's not mine. I want the stainless steel. I want it one big lump. I want to eat it in 8 seconds. So it was like a period of like 2 weeks. I had to put most of it in the stainless steel bowl and then just a few pieces of kibble in the maize. And then she eventually got used to it. But at first she refused it. She said, nope, it got nothing to do with me. I'm playing your game.
Do you think she didn't realize there was a maze?
I think she just didn't like it. She didn't like the look of it. She probably didn't like the smell of the bowl. And she just didn't care for it.
Yeah, my dog wouldn't really care about the smell or the look or anything. I mean, it was eating a dead bird. It eats crap.
I have a dog that chased down a squirrel in our backyard, gave him a maize bowl. That's fine. No problem. Yeah. Food's here. I'm going to go get the food.
Well, since I've moved out of my old house close to 4 years ago, the dog that my ex-wife kept has brought all sorts of animals inside. It never happened, but when I lived there, I don't think the two are correlated. But the dog has brought in many dead things now. It goes in that backyard, and it's fitting to kill. Deuce, that bird I was. There's no way Deuce caught a bird. That bird was somehow already dead.
No, we had the little bird's nest on our back deck that they had built inside one of the posts on the railing, and it was just a wonderful time for Marcy and the kids to go out there and just gently lift up the little cap. It was already loose, and see what was developing in there. And I never told any of them that after the birds had hatched, I let Scout out one morning, and I saw her out there chomping on something. And I went and counted the birds, and there was one less than there should have been. Pretty sure it fell out of the nest, and she said, I'll take that.
God, dogs are gross.
They're so gross. And it was probably dead, but if not, it wasn't doing well because it was...
Yeah, it couldn't fly or anything, right? There's just so gross.
Yeah.
It wants to eat the cat crap. They eat crap. They eat their own throw up. What the hell's wrong with them? And why have we decided as humans to bring them into our home?
Well, let me tell you, Fred, as the indigenous American legend would tell it, they're the people and the animals were all living harmoniously, and then there was an attack of some kind. A wolf got at one of the children in the teepee, and the great God above said, "All right, we have to separate. We have to separate man from beast." And he lined up all the people on one side and all the animals on the other, and he began to create the Grand Canyon, and he separated the earth with the people on one side and the animals on the other, and slowly the earth parted. And at the last possible moment, one dog leapt across the chasm to join man on the other side, and they have been bonded ever since.
So the dogs we have now are half human, half dog?
Yeah, because there was only one dog.
Right.
So some of these, and this is not part of their culture in any way, and I don't mean to, say anything bad about any particular tribe or people, but some of those people had sex with that dog.
I was just going to say, there are many kinds of dogs at this point. So,
Yes.
the one dog jumping over.
That is,
Yeah.
And again, that's just science.
But
that just happened.
So say that the dog was pregnant even. I mean, the vast degree of inbreeding, like immediate inbreeding.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about siblings and then everything spawning from the siblings of siblings of siblings of siblings.
Right.
I mean, you would have a real thing.
Right.
There was a Netflix special on dogs narrated by Rob Lowe, and it says that dogs have become evolutionarily survival of the nicest. That dogs' survival rate is based on like how subservient and nice they are to humans.
Oh.
So the whole thing is that they are progressively becoming more, nice and affable to humans.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. Who knows?
Hey, if Rob Lowe said it, I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, he was. He learned how to play saxophone. I would assume.
Let's rock.
He learned how to play saxophone for that movie over there. Are you sick?
Now my voice is all messed up this morning. I'm not sick though.
Oh, okay. Because I know you weren't feeling well before you left.
And so that was what, 2 days ago
Yeah.
or 3 days ago. The day I left here, I'm like, I don't feel well. Whatever it was, I went home, I slept, and I was up for a couple hours, and it was just gone. Whatever I was dealing with was just gone. It felt great. I felt great all day yesterday, and I woke up this morning. My voice is a little weird.
Oh boy. Well, listen, we have a big vacation coming up. Both of us, all three of us, are gone.
Yeah.
Next week, where are you going, Jonathan? Philadelphia?
Maine.
Oh, that's right. You're going to Maine.
Going up to
see your
Maine to see
father.
my dad. Yep.
What part of Maine is he in?
Kennebunk, near Kennebuck.
Your dad has got a little cash.
He's got a beach house. Well, it's not right on the beach. It's about 3 or 4 blocks off the beach.
Oh.
Yeah.
He lives in New York City. He lives in Maine. He's quite a.
What do you think he's worth, John?
Bon vivant.
Yeah.
$100 billion.
He never had to pay child support, right?
My parents divorced after I got out of college, so no.
You have a sibling?
Yes, younger sister.
Oh, that's right.
Who is
She lives overseas.
also in the country, so I will be seeing her as well.
Oh, has she moved back to the U.S. or
No.
is she still insisting to live, not be patriot?
Not be patriot. She is dropping her one of her daughters off at school. One goes to school at Washington University in St. Louis, and the other one got into Brown. She's going to start her sophomore year at Brown.
Hello.
Yeah. Now, John, do you and your sister have conversations about who's going to get that beach house in Kennebunk?
We have not, but I think
But
I'm
you've thought about
probably in the lead, seeing as she doesn't live here.
Oh, but she might insist that you sell it.
No, it's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Is it paid off? What's the mortgage on
I
it?
don't know the answer to that.
What are the taxes?
The lawn is pristine, though, Hardy. You'd like it.
Oh, there's a lawn.
There's a small lawn that goes around the right side.
What part of Manhattan does he live in?
90s, up in the 90s on the east side.
Oh, the Upper East Side,
How does
which
that-
isn't as good as the Upper West Side anymore. Yes?
No, it's not.
I'm so ignorant about New York. So do you own an apartment? Is
Yes.
That okay. So does he?
He owns a small studio apartment. Yes.
Oh, a studio.
Yes.
And does he own that out?
Ugh.
I don't know the answer to if he owns it outright I don't know.
That's something that back in the day a young artist would live in.
Yeah.
Well, Manhattan's very, 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 very expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little less impressed. But he did have to pay probably alimony. So we'll give him a break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll give him a little bit of a break. Good. We'll give your dad a little break. Fair enough.
What did your father do for a living, John?
He was a tax attorney for the Raytheon Corporation.
He did all right.
His name is Mike Fidelli.
My father, too, posts videos shirtless.
Yeah. He's actually half brother of Mike Fidelli. The Raytheon Corporation, and that's where you were the security guard.
Yes.
Oh, I
correct.
just put two and two together. Your dad got you the job as the security guard at Raytheon.
For Summers, yes.
Yes, John had a summer job protecting national security
Yep.
as a security guard. And, John would just sit there and spank it and smoke weed all night while the people tried to break in and ruin the way of life that we so enjoy. Today is going to be a long show.
Why do you say that?
Because it's a getaway day.
That's probably true, yeah.
And we're all tired from staying up watching every second of that preseason contest last night.
If I may be honest with you, I had a lot of trouble focusing on any of it. I watched the Peter North documentary last night.
Ooh.
And I can do you all a big favor.
Oh, you don't have to.
Do not watch the Peter North documentary.
Oh, no.
Is TT Boy in the documentary?
He doesn't have any lines, but he's in it. They have a king's court of male porn stars.
Oh.
They don't really do anything, but it's Shawn Michaels, TT Boy, the British good-looking guy.
Rocco? Is Rocco in it?
No, Rocco's too rough.
Okay.
Yeah, Rocco doesn't have a lot of respect in the industry. And then
Who is the clown prince of porn? What's that guy's
and
name?
Herschel Savage is in it too.
There you go.
Who is not a bad actor. He was on Just Shoot Me.
Oh.
Who's the clown prince? I can't remember. I never.
Well, I remember
the
we
guy's
had this. We
He looks
through
like
this.
Glenn. There's a guy in porn that looks like Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But then there's the clown prince of porn. I can't remember his name. One time a listener knew. He was, but I can never remember his name. But they do talk about how in the 80s there were like 5 guys that did porno. So it might seem weird to a younger person that we know the names of these like male porn stars, but you have to understand that there was legitimately 5 of them. And, they just all rotated. So, because this was before Viagra or Cialis or anything. So they, there was very few human beings that could do that. And,
Was it Bobby Astor,
I don't know.
the clown prince of porn, usually casting comedic roles?
It's hard to find out who it is. I've been through this exercise before. I would have to like Google a movie or something to see the cast. But it's awful. It's boring, like legitimately boring. They get into like the gay part, but he's like, I didn't want to admit it. And it's like, well, you're in it. Like the movies are available. Like you did gay porn. So like it's no admission. It's just that. And then he goes like, I owed the mob $50,000 and the mob was involved in gay porn and they wanted me to pay it off in gay porn. And it's like, well, if those guys were making $250 a scene, you would never pay off $50,000 in your life doing gay porn.
Right.
Like you just like, I don't understand. Maybe they got paid more for gay porn, but he wasn't in, to my knowledge, a lot of it, according to the movie. So I don't know. That's like the only thing. And it's like an hour into it. It's really boring. They like talk to like a sex expert, and then like it's just not good. Don't watch it.
What?
I was like watching other stuff during it. I was getting real bored. I was like screwing around on the computer. Like it wasn't good.
Weren't a lot of starters playing for either team.
Oh no, that's the Peter North documentary.
Oh no, we've already moved off that.
Oh, I apologize.
No, the game.
We're
No,
having
the game
trouble
was
focusing.
the game was very difficult to watch. It's. I mean, you can only watch so much Tommy DeVito until.
You can only watch so much Zolak and the McCourties with a birthday cake.
Oh yeah, the football-shaped birthday cake. Did Steve Burton do anything during this broadcast?
Picking on Steve Burton.
I saw that part of it, and I thought back. I'm like, they haven't gone down to Steve like at all. It's basically they're asking Brian Hoyer his opinions on everything, and not a lot of Steve Burton in the broadcast last night.
Well, good for Zoe for not pointing that out.
I know.
and actually keeping track of the number of times they went to Burton, because they actually did that.
They had a picture of Steve sitting on a chair on the sideline.
So it's like, what's good? Burton doing? He's only heard from him once. He's not doing anything.
That's great.
If Burton were here, he'd eat that cake. He'd steal all that cake.
That's right.
Even the McCourties are like, don't.
What are you doing?
Don't pick on Steve. Look at him. He's not doing anything.
In fairness, there's
Meanwhile,
nothing
there's
to talk
plays
about.
going on.
I know.
But I mean,
I know. They're instructed not to do like actual play-by-play.
No, it's incredibly boring. I would imagine that there are coaches that aren't paying attention to everything that's going on.
Well, they had Doug Marrone, the offensive line coach, in for an interview while the game was going on.
They're probably paying attention to stuff that has nothing to do with the actual like game. And Aaron Rodgers, I know, caught some grief for saying it wasn't real football earlier this week. Like, yeah, of course it's not. Yeah. They don't. It's hard to become invested in a game where neither team cares if they win.
Right, and everything is super vanilla. Like, no, I bet you that there are coaches that aren't paying attention on every play. Like, if you're a defensive coach, like you're not doing. There's like parts of the game where you're zoned out. Like, especially when the offense is on the field, like you're not necessarily working on anything. You're kind of just like zoned out. No, I don't think that it requires full attention. That like a normal game. I mean, there's only so much time one can focus. Got to keep these things in the holster a little bit. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with everything that happened last night. Hey, we are Dutcher and Hardy. What happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happens. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Oh, Hardy.
It was so good. I love the start of football. Last night, the Patriots were at Gillette Stadium to host the Indianapolis Colts after some joint practices. Now, no Drake May. And we were thinking we were going to maybe not even get Tommy DeVito. But a couple of days ago, we heard, don't you worry, DeVito was going to play. And he was in there. And it was electric.
We heard it from Scott, but Scott was like, keep it under your hat.
Yeah, well, he knew. But he also didn't want to tip off the Colts.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't want to give them competitive advantage. Who to prepare for.
Right.
DeVito or the other guy.
Baron Morton.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, DeVito is in there, and he's getting the crowd into it. Listen to this.
Arkin comes in motion to the left wing, and a short drop by DeVito. Quick set, flares it out to the right. Caught by Matt Collins. Spun out of bounds with a grab at the 42. Blackman on the coverage for Indy, and that's a gain for the Patriots of 6 to set up a 3rd and 7.
Oh, I don't know if that's the best way to identify a player. Blackman?
No, that's his name.
Oh, I was going to say, Sosie's going to get himself in trouble. I mean, I know it's preseason, you know people's names. Mm-hmm. But if you're just saying black man with the catch.
Black man runs around a couple of white guys, and he's down.
The black man runs across back. Black man, here comes the black man, tackling the black guy, and he's down.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny if he was just like, I don't know, Scott. Or he was with Phil. I don't know, Phil Black Guy. I don't know.
You see the quick release there from DeVito going to a trusted target in Matt Collins. It's got to be nice for Tommy DeVito. Not a lot of second-string quarterbacks are able to work with receivers like Matt Collins, Kayshon Boutte, Kyle Williams, who's a third-round pick a year ago, Efton Chisholm now in the game on third down.
Yeah, you don't get to work with the guys like Chisholm.
That's right. Yeah.
Unless you're in the UFL.
A lot of Efton Chisholm running back and forth across formations early last night. Efton Chisholm.
John. Well done, John.
Right there.
You paid attention.
He's out there.
I tried. I had it on. I even had the house to myself for like the first hour. I was settled in. Man, during that first series, my mind was wandering.
Well, I listened to like the pregame because it came on at 4:30 on the station. So I listened when I was driving around to the pregame, and I enjoyed it. It was
kind of great.
It was kind of fun because it was like, wow, football's back. Like because that pregame sounds like the regular season.
Sounds like football.
Yeah, and it's Gasper and Murray, and like it's like you get excited, and then I like watched the pregame on TV, like leading up to it, because I'm like, I want to be home for when this starts. And then it started, and I was like, okay, that's enough. No, I'm gonna go walk the dog.
Yeah.
I can't watch this. I apologize to the audience, but I have to be honest to you.
Well, Andy Borregales would convert a 40-yard field goal and put the Pats up 3-0, and then it was the defense's time to shine.
Down by 3-0 score in this opening quarter as we near the 9-minute mark. Snap to Richardson from the gun. He fires to the right. Pass is broken up and intercepted on his feet. Running down the left side across the 45-40. Kindle Vildor now being ruled down by contact, it appears. Back at the 32.5-yard line for New England.
Anthony Richardson started for the Colts. Obviously, they were featuring him in the hopes of getting a chance to trade him because they really don't need him. He's just awful.
He's not great.
He's just terrible. And every time I've seen him, he's just terrible regardless of what circumstance he's put in.
Like, unless that was Kansas City or the 49ers or, like, the Rams, I couldn't. And, I mean, not that these teams need him, but, like, what my point is, unless I had, like, some offensive guru as my head coach, I would not want that guy within 200 miles of my building. If I had a defensive head coach or an inexperienced head coach, I don't want anything to do with Anthony Richardson.
Too brutal. Now, again, it's a preseason game, but to him it meant a lot because he knows he's not going to be this team's starting quarterback.
I mean,
2 brutal turnovers to kill drives last night.
He's gonna, if he wants to be in the league, he's gonna have to, go like full Tim Tebow. He's gonna have to find another position, like make him a fullback.
Go to Canada if you really want to play.
Well,
But he can't throw.
Run around all you want.
The thing is that it's such a waste if he goes to another position because his arm is so good. Like, he has such a live arm. It's all mental. Or it's meant, I don't know. I don't know anything about playing quarterback, but it's either mental or it's some kind of mechanical problem that he can't get over. It's probably a combination of
3
both.
turnovers against backups. I mean, what are you doing?
Well, Andy Borregales would miss his next field goal attempt for the Patriots. Get ready for more of that. So the Patriots would find another way to score.
3rd down and 6. The snap with an empty center. Throw to the left, and it's caught by Kyle Williams. Back shoulder along the left sideline for the Patriots touchdown.
Beautiful ball. Beautiful recognition from Tommy DeVito there. When you see the back of a defensive back's helmet, you know he's not going to be able to defend anything but the width of his shoulders. He spotted a target there for Kyle Williams in the back corner of the end zone, made the accurate throw right over the defender's helmet for 6.
Oh, nice job, Phil.
That's analysis right there.
Good. That's good. Oh, nice job.
Only the width of his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Did you know that? See, you learned something.
That if you can see the helmet, that they can only turn to the side and that the width of your shoulders.
You can only defend the width of your shoulders if your back is to the quarterback.
Right, but what if you put the ball in the right place and they keep but if you underthrow it, that's not the case.
Well, a lot of guys don't run like that. I think that's what he's saying, with your arms stretched out.
Okay. No, but you could turn around and raise your arms so it would be the width of your shoulder.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The Colts almost get in the end zone, so they would try it again. Here's what Richardson's good for.
The elbow short of the goal line after an apparent touchdown on first look. And now the Colts have it with goal to go from the half-yard line. Richardson under center. The Colts fumbled down in this territory earlier in this first half, and Richardson isn't going to hand it off. He's just going to take it straight ahead, and he's going to work behind his center and left guard and fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
It's a large man falling forward. I'm fascinated to see where he ends up because somebody's going to want him as a backup. As bad as it's been for him, and as much as I don't think he can throw the football effectively from snap to snap, there's too much you can do with him in the run game to make him effective.
You think?
I'm not sure.
I mean, it wasn't a couple of years ago. The Saints. They would have their quarterback.
Taysom Hill, baby. The media loved themselves some Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill's still on that team.
I think he's gone. I think he retired or left this year.
Because I just read an article about. I didn't read it. I just read the headline of an article about Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's not on the.
I think I read something about how it was a long, tearful goodbye. He's not back with the team this year for whatever reason.
Oh, I don't like that.
Well, Riley.
I know they could replace him with Zach Wilson.
Riley Leonard would go into the game at quarterback for the Colts, and it didn't go great for him either.
Leonard from the gun, play fake, stands in, throws one downfield. It's going to be intercepted by John Saunders, hanging up there, and he makes the grab, sprints back right across the 50 to the 45-yard line, and slides down at the 43. Leonard maybe couldn't step into that throw completely. threw it downfield, well underthrown. Saunders waiting on it, and the Patriots have their fourth takeaway as a result early in the second half with a 10-7 lead over the Colts.
Nice.
Yeah. I saw a highlight of Leonard scrambling, and he fell down and was touchdown for a sack. That's not good, right?
No.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
He struggled a little bit.
Now, Andy Borregales would end up making from 52 yards to put the Pats up 13-7.
You went poop?
Making?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you make?
Yes. He made
Did
on
you
the
make bowel?
He made on the field from the 42-yard line, so it counts as 52.
Yeah.
Colts had a field goal, make it 13-10. Then Colts kicker makes from 61 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's time for Andy Borregales.
Well, you have to add 7. So if it was the 42, it wouldn't be a 52-yard field goal because you would have to add
So
17
he made
to
it the 35-yard line?
Yes.
Okay. So Borregales squatted down and made at the 35-yard line. Now Fred's happy.
Uh-huh.
You just get a picture of that. Borregales taking a dump on the field and everyone just watching and clapping.
Yay!
Hooray.
So now Borregales. Now, remember, he had made from 52, but he's missed 2 others during the game.
Yes.
And so now this is a 49-yard field goal. What do we say like all last 2 seasons? It's like, 50-yard field goals now have to be automatic.
They're layups.
They have to.
They are. The guy across the field just made a 61-yarder to tie it.
Right.
And I think he hit the net after kicking that 61-yarder. So, yeah.
It would have been good from 71.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Andy, let's go.
Play, swing of the leg by Borregales. His kick to the uprights is no good. So Andy Borregales,
That's
who
2.
you'll recall last year had the trouble early in the season against Miami, rebounded from that difficulty. Now 2 for 5 this evening.
Yeah, I don't. That's not good.
No.
I wouldn't like
good.
that.
That is not good, especially, last year you were thinking you're really going to need him because, the offense is probably, going to be going through some growing pains. You didn't know what you had. And you've struggled at times, but the offense ended up being much better, and he didn't have to run. I think you're going to have to rely on him this year. I think the defenses you're facing, they're going to put you in some really tough third down situations. You're not going to convert. You're going to need your kicker to go out there and make 45 and 50-yard field goals regularly. And last night, as Bob Sosey just said, 2 for 5. He was good on his 1 extra point try. The game ends in a 13-all tie.
The only way, and I'm with you guys, very difficult to focus on this game. I only wanted to watch to see how Lomu did on offense and Akis did on defense because both of them got a lot of time. Lomu was a starting right tackle. Lomu, I think, was penalized for being downfield too early on one play and got beaten on a couple others, but he was mixed bag with him. Akis is interesting to me only because he never really got near the quarterback. He was kind of stood up, and Phil Perry sat here and said, as an edge rusher, all you have to do is go get the quarterback. That's your job. And he didn't go get the quarterback. I read Alex Barth this morning say, he was good. He was really good. He got pressures and all that stuff.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I know. And that's the first thing I thought of. But and Akis was good because he chased a running back down from behind. Great, but that's not why they drafted you high in the second round. So negatives for Akis against backups in game 1. And Lomu, I guess, was fine. You're not relying on him to start. Some good, some bad, but definitely a work in progress for both guys.
Yeah. I guess the only thing that I would be concerned about is the kicker.
Yes.
Is that in any scenario you don't want to miss 3 out of 5 field goals.
I would bet anything that they bring in a guy because there's no other kicker on the roster. I would bet anything they bring in a guy this week.
And that's what I was thinking is I bet you that there's a competition now. I bet you that they bring in a guy.
If only to say, hey, look, I don't care about last year. Let's go here.
You can care about last year because that's what it is with kickers is that they can just lose it mentally. You have to continue to churn them out. Because you definitely don't want to go into this season and lose a game because of your kicker when you thought that there might be an issue beforehand. I mean, you can replace kickers mid-season, obviously, but you don't want to, you don't want to lose a game because of them.
Not a large margin for error this year, given your schedule. So you need guys that
That's
can
what
make,
I said, John. Thank you
kicks.
for backing me up.
Yeah, just with the AFC, it's
It's true.
It's true. It's the facts, Jax. All right, we will be back in just a moment.
A game that did not end in a tie.
A game that counted was played yesterday during the day. We can go over that. Here are the headlines.
Up and completing some passes for the Raiders in their 27-14 loss to the Cardinals yesterday. He was 10 of 16, threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah, he was not great, but he was fine. I saw some of that game. I saw some of the Steeler game, too. A little more interesting because I knew the quarterback's playing.
Right. Yeah.
You knew all about Tommy DeVito. Come on now.
I know his agent. That's about all I know about Tommy DeVito, and that he does public appearances at Italian food places in Jersey.
Surely you know he grew up right near MetLife Stadium, lived at his mom's house.
Yeah, I know a lot about him off the field. I don't know anything about him on the field. That's the difference. Is Aller played at Penn State, and Mendoza won a national championship. So these are guys that I know. He
wasn't terrible last night. DeVito, he was pretty good.
No, I didn't say he was terrible. I said I didn't know anything about him in college. I didn't follow. He played Illinois?
Syracuse, right? Does that make sense? I think it's Syracuse.
Okay.
I got to double check that. I tells you where I am.
Yeah, I mean, that's
kind
of my point, is
Yeah.
that I don't remember him playing in college. I don't remember Tommy DeVito.
I don't think anybody does.
No.
If they say they were lying.
And just another thing from that Raiders game is that
it is Illinois. You're right.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love looked really good. Jeremiah Love had some athletic plays. So, I mean, you've got to assume that if you take well, Gentry wasn't very good last year, so you got to assume if you take a running back in the top half of the draft that they're going to be pretty good. But just Jeremiah Love showed out a little bit last night in his matchup against Gentry, the guy that maybe would have cost him draft. But good for the Cardinals at this stage in their turnaround to take a running back that high in the draft.
Yeah.
A guy that will be certainly at his peak when the team turns around.
Smart.
Well, you figure, 4 or 5 years, Love's 27, and if they hand the ball to him all that time, it'll be just about used up. That's true.
Exactly.
That's
Like
right.
That was an odd choice, but
Playing the long game.
Yeah.
By the way, the Bears felt it necessary to hold a press conference yesterday and actually state that they would not be changing the name of the team to the Hammond Bears should they in fact relocate to Hammond, Indiana.
Sounds like they're serious. Sounds like
they're moving.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously, moving out of state. I mean, look,
Kansas
NFL
City's
teams
moving out of state.
NFL, I know, but NFL teams. You want to talk about playing the long game? NFL teams do this in the hopes of finally kicking some government officials in the ass and getting what they want. Patriots did that. They were supposed to move to Hartford, Connecticut at one point. And finally, the government came through and said, okay, Robert, you can have this.
But they wouldn't necessarily be moving out of state. They are the New England Patriots.
You know what?
They belong to the entire region.
You have me there, yes.
You would think that would be really stupid to move to Hartford, but people drive to Gillette.
Yeah,
I mean, people from all over drive to Gillette. So.
Oh, the argument. Well, what about the fans from Maine? It's a longer drive. The New England region, people from Vermont and New Hampshire have long drives to Foxborough as it is. Now you're asking them to go all the way to Connecticut?
Well, I mean, what about people from Western Connecticut to go to Giants games? I mean, come on. You can't. But it's just interesting because I don't know if I'm in Chicago and I'm a Bears fan. It's very hard to stop rooting for a team. But if they moved out of Chicago, if that's enough to just go, well, I might as well root for anyone at this point. Like, I'm not going to drive to Indiana. And I don't. It's probably not super far, but you just might go, like, I don't want to deal with it. Like, they've been in the city for so long, and that's been part of my routine. Mm-hmm. That maybe I just don't follow them to the new stadium. I mean, they're going to sell it out, obviously. Like, there's obviously, but it just, you're playing around with the third largest media market in the country.
Yeah, it's only half an hour.
Yeah.
It's like 23 miles, according to this.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to have any effect, but it's interesting. The ball's on. It's essentially like Dallas not being in Dallas, like, right? Like or when the Lions were in Pontiac, I guess. It's like
There's
the
just
same
something
thing.
about going to a different state. And
Right.
then all the economic ramifications of that, like, you know, the revenue that comes in now for the state of Indiana as opposed to the state of Illinois.
Right. It's just like playing very fast and loose with. It's one thing to move Kansas City to Kansas. It's like another thing, and they weren't in Kansas City anyway, but like it's another thing to leave the third largest city in America. Like, you really got some balls on you right now, the NFL. Like, they're screwing around a lot. And we keep talking about this. It will happen. Maybe not in our lifetime, but certainly the NFL will become something that it's not now. Like, I mean, it happens to everything. And it's just what that tipping point will be where they have to start backpedaling a little bit and like reining things in a little bit.
It's been ever since the dollars got this big, $300 million salary cap. The NFL has ceased to care about a lot of things.
Yes.
Because people were like, okay.
And I will bring up
Okay.
the biggest definition of that, and I keep doing it, and I apologize, but when Mad Dog had the guy from the NFL scheduling on,
Right.
and he's like, what are you going to do if you play in, Abu Dhabi? What are you going to do the next week? Will they have a bye? And he's like, no, not necessarily. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't know.
No, you fly back for 22 hours, and then you get ready to play 3 days later.
Yeah, his whole answer
Shut
to
up.
everything is like, I might not do anything. How about that?
Yeah.
Like, will you have a bye the next week? Nope. Well, they couldn't play on Sunday. Yeah, they could. Oh. He was just like flying middle fingers, like,
Yeah.
like I don't know what
Put
to
a
tell
put
you.
a team in London. They'll have like a 6-week road trip, and then they'll come back.
Like, I dare you to stop watching.
Yeah.
All right. Bert Breer is scheduled to join us in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey everyone, Chris from Blue Bear Plumbing, Heating and Air. From leaky faucets to system replacements, where you go.
Most of the starters sat for the Patriots. So Tommy DeVito was the first half quarterback. He was 13 of 22 passing for 131 yards and a touchdown. The defense also forced 4 turnovers. But the big story was kicker Andy Borregales. He missed 3 of his 5 field goal attempts, and that includes a 49-yarder with 13 seconds left that would have handed Mike Vrabel's team the lead.
We're expected to make them. That's pro football. They're banging them in from 60 yards. They got 2 kickers on the roster, so Andy knows that we have to make those field goals.
Preseason game number 2 is a week from tomorrow night at home against Philadelphia. Also, the Patriots placed running back Terrell Jennings on injured reserve, ending his season. Caleb Durbin's grand slam in the top of the 8th inning broke up a close game. Red Sox went on to win up in Toronto 7-0 to end a 5-game losing streak. Durbin drove in 5 runs in all to back the lights-out pitching of Peyton Tolley. He allowed 2 hits over 8 shutout innings of work. Sox play in Pittsburgh tonight in the opener of a 3-game weekend series. The full Celtics regular season schedule was announced yesterday. Jaylen Brown's return to TD Garden is January 21st. And Bridgewater, Massachusetts beat Gray, Maine last night 3-0. They win the Northeast Regional and will head to the Little League World Series. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Fantasy Spin app, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy, combining the thrill of virtual slots with the skill of drafting your favorite lineup. Download the Fantasy Spin app now and play for cash or try it for free. Must be 21 plus. Terms apply. Visit fantasyspin.com for details and responsible gaming resources. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Break me. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
The game will come to an end here at Gillette in a 13-13 tie, with the Patriots to leave with some reassurances, certainly some things on the positive side that Phil talked about earlier, but also some questions.
You subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. He's a senior NFL reporter and lead content strategist for the MMQB. He's in studio right now. Hello, Bert.
Hey, guys, what's happening?
You are back from your many camps?
Yeah, 18 and 18 days. So I got back last night from Buffalo, and I basically covered all the teams west of the Mississippi, most of the Midwest, and then Pittsburgh on Monday. So, yeah, I'm 18 teams in. I usually try to get to about 25. I think I'm going to get there.
Okay. And you did an article. You were embedded with the May family.
Yes. Yeah, that was so that was actually for our, believe it or not, we still have a print edition of Sports Illustrated. And so the preview issue comes out, and there's a lot of good stuff in there. And honestly, it's great. I love the fact that I got to write for it because I loved that particular issue when I was a kid.
Dr. Z style.
Yeah. So I went down there July 1st and 2nd to Charleston, where he and his family were vacationing, and spent some time with them.
Bert is trolling you with his shirt.
Oh, his Nantucket Island shirt.
I picked it out specifically for Fred.
No, I think it's just every shirt he has.
I know. At least you left the pink
true.
shorts at home. We're happy about that.
Well, no, he wore
You don't like the baby blue?
Salmon pants? No.
Yeah, he's completely invested in the lifestyle. Don't worry. Bert's the kind of guy
I
that's
actually like when I don't really have time to put a whole lot of thought into what I wear for the show. It's
well, none of us do.
Leaving here,
I don't think any of us put an awful lot of thought into it. All right, so So tell us about being with the May family.
Yeah, that was a good read, and I mean, I knew about like the competitive streak between him and his brothers, but it doesn't feel like they were being performative. Like what you were there and what you witnessed. That feels like
that was
when they're together. That's what happens.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing. Is I just kind of wanted to see them in their own element, and I really I think what I wanted to get across more than anything else, because I think it's the most interesting thing about him as a football player, like just as far as where he's going, is there's still a ton of meat on the bone developmentally, and it's just when I talk to people who've coached him over the last couple of years here. They keep saying, and they kept saying to me, like, you have no idea where this could be going next. Like, this is like his ceiling is sky high, and we're just scratching the surface of where he's going. And I think a huge part of it is how he grew up. And he didn't have a personal throwing coach till he was 15.
Which I thought was a funny thing in the article because it's obviously what's going on now, but it was like, wow, he didn't have a personal throwing coach till he's 15.
Well, but to understand the context of this, though, like, I mean, Fred, you know this, like, quarterbacks are like golfers now, the way they're brought up. I mean, I remember going out to Tom House's, throwing school out in California. And when I went out there, and this is over 10 years ago, there were a bunch of NFL guys, right? Like, so if I remember right, like at the time, Andy Dalton was there, Blake Bortles were there. There was a few guys who were starters at the time out there. And he at that point had 3/4 of the NFL. And then after they came off the field, I mean, there was literally I think I saw a 7-year-old going out there. But that's where it is now. They are literally like golfers. And so I thought, after I heard over and over and over again how much meat there is in the bone developmentally with him left, so much of it for me drew back to his dad was a quarterback at North Carolina, yet his upbringing was like our upbringing, where he just played what was in season. His brothers weren't pushed into football because dad played football. He has 2 brothers that were basketball players. He has another brother who was a baseball player. All of them became high-level athletes. Obviously, the gene pool has a little something to do with that. But, I thought the cool thing was so much of who he is now as a quarterback is based on he was a 3-sport athlete. And when I was sitting in the car with those guys, with his 3 brothers, I asked them, like, well, can you think of, like, any plays from last year that reflect either him as a baseball player or him as a basketball player? And you guys probably read that in the story. And it was, like, automatic. It was like, yep, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And, like, you think about that, right? And I don't want to, like, evangelize here the multi-sport athlete thing, but I think when kids are overcoached, and I think you see this with quarterbacks a lot. I think Josh Rosen was a really good example of this, right? when kids are overcoached, they become robots and they lose creativity in their game. And I think one of the big reasons you see somebody like Drake playing the way that he plays is because he's got creativity in the way that he plays the position. How do you develop creativity? You don't develop it by sitting there like analyzing your throwing motion 100 times over. You do it through different experiences. And I think that's how it's happened. And now he can refine himself as a quarterback. And so it's sort of, I just think it's like the antithesis of how people are being told to do it now. And obviously it's really worked for him.
Well, a good coach, a good pitching coach, a good passing coach, if the kid's athletic, is not going to some of that is like, look, you're athletic. Well, don't overthink it. Like, you got to, part of what makes you
compete.
is your athleticism. Because if you try to break everyone down the same, you get away from that. But if you look at like Mahomes and Kyler Murray, those were multi-sport athletes. Like if you look
Joe
at like
Burrow.
Joe Burrow,
Josh Allen.
Yes. So like the really good athletic quarterbacks were multi-sport athletes.
I think it's interesting too because I've probably shared this with you guys before though, but I remember having this conversation with Mahomes when he was in his second year, and doing this as long as I've done it, like sometimes the simplest questions get the best answers. You guys know that, right? Like, so I asked Mahomes, who taught you to throw like that? And his answer was no one. I was a shortstop. And then I relayed that a few years later to Burrow, and Burrow said, yeah, why do you think it looks like I've got eyes in the back of my head when I'm in the pocket? It's like, that's from playing in the post in basketball. And so, like, there are little things like that. And then Drake told me, like, well, I think, like, layering the football is from throwing the ball down into the post to my brother, right? Like, I had to figure out how, like, I had to get it over bodies and into the post to my brother.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just fire the pass in there. It's like my vision's from playing point guard. My ability to throw from different arm angles is from playing shortstop and pitching. And it's just like, I don't know. I just thought it was like fascinating. I thought it was a story everyone could relate with because most people have kids who are going through that, who are being pushed to do one thing rather than 3 things or 4 things. And I just think he's like such a great example of it. And his dad's an awesome guy who like pushed all his kids to play whatever was in season and really just prioritized them having fun with it. And look, like, again, the gene pool is a huge part of it, but I didn't know this before I did the story. Drake had offers to play basketball at Clemson and Cincinnati. I mean, like, that's like
he's a really good athlete.
Pretty remarkable.
And that's the thing is that when your kids are little, what you should be interested in is them wanting to play.
Right.
Because like if they don't want to play, then that queers the whole deal. Like if they're not enjoying it, or not enjoying playing sports, or they get burnt out, then you're just making someone do something that they don't want to do, and that's never going to work.
I actually thought about you too, Fred, because your kid's a pitcher, and like I like, so my oldest will go to this quarterback school, and they do a great job, but he goes because he's like a tight end, so his quarterback will like bring him in. The receivers get to go for free, right? And so, like, we're in this field house, and so they got the younger kids over here, and then the high school kids are over on the other side. And I look over at the high school kids, and it struck me how they all throw exactly the same now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and then I thought back to, like, when we were kids, and, like, was it Quisenberry who threw?
Yeah, the submarine.
Kansas
right,
City.
and like he would, like, scrape his knuckles on.
He was the first guy, him into Colby for Pittsburgh with the 2.
And there was a guy from Toronto that pitched a couple of days ago that was submarine.
And I'm not necessarily saying it's like a bad thing that kids are being taught proper throwing mechanics. That's good. But like, you do think about like how that sort of stuff, like you just don't see it anymore. And I think a huge part of it is I think kids are just, I mean, I remember when I was a freshman in high school, they put out like the freshman football coach put us on our knees and had us throw off our knees and said like, we're not messing with that. That's your natural throwing motion, you know?
Well, they did that with my son, is that like when he became better, the coach at Babson, when he was working with the coach at Babson, he's a friend of Roach's.
Yep.
And he's not going to Babson, but the guy was like, look, you're athletic, like don't like I don't want to screw around too much. Like your athleticism is part of it. So that's where I go to with, you don't want to put everyone in the same box and say them to do the same things. If you're right, I think that was his point. If your body's telling you to do something,
do what your body's telling you.
Right? Yeah, you don't want to fall off. I mean, there's a million things that you don't want to do, but like at a certain point, don't start putting everyone in the same box.
I just like honestly thought. I thought it was cool, and there was stuff. I'm sure you guys saw it in the story, but there was stuff like, just like he like grew up on a cul-de-sac. There's a hoop in the driveway. There's like a baseball set up in the front yard, and then they've got like a long, skinny backyard that's perfect for football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it felt like so many things that they told me were like, this like could be. I mean, you could have been an 8-year-old in 1987. You know what I mean? Like when you kind of learn about how Drake grew up.
Does it seem cultish though? They seem awfully well behaved. They seem like everyone. I mean, Drake May married like a girl that he knew like when he was 4. Like this whole. I mean, when they were both 4.
Yeah.
Like he was not. It was not.
I think
grooming
it was middle
situation.
school. It might be a little exaggeration.
But whatever. But like, it seems like a very fathers knows best type situation. Like it does seem like not 1987. It seems like 1957.
Yeah,
it seems
Pleasantville
like,
is what this is.
Yeah, it seems like a very idyllic childhood.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there was. What's interesting too is like that they grew up in an area where there was like 7 or 8 other quarterbacks that either made it to the NFL or major college football were right there. So Sam Hartman was in this story. Sam Howell was in the story. Daniel Jones was from their area. There were a bunch of them. And so
did they all go to Carolina schools? Did Hartman go to a Carolina school?
Hartman went. Yeah, he went to Wake first, and
Jones went to Duke.
Yeah, Jones went to Duke, and the other kid went to North Carolina,
and it was a starter before
Sam Howell. Yeah. Interesting. But there's no, you don't have a feeling this thing's all going to.
I know.
It's all going to crumble. Like it's all like under this. It's all held up with like sticks and rocks. Like it's going to.
There's like some weird stuff happening in the background that we don't know about that we're going to find out.
Yeah,
about.
like this. Like he ruled with an iron fist, but for front facing, that they all want you to see that we're this happy family.
The second you left, everything went back to normal.
Right, exactly. Like,
no, but
the whip got cracked again.
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, like, and it was. There was like a locker room feel to it too. Like I think I had in the story how, Drake started playing receiver at the end of the football drills and bet he bet Cole, who's the second brother, who played baseball at Florida, that he couldn't hit him on a 20-yard in cut, which is like one of those throws. If you've ever tried to make that throw, it's a deceivingly difficult throw. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard a throw, but it's a really hard throw to make. And Bo couldn't hit. Bo first made Drake run the route and then pulled the ball down like, Lucy pulling the football away.
Yeah.
So there was stuff like that. They seem like very normal guys. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's probably a credit to their dad, given that, the oldest brother was a starter on the basketball team at North Carolina that won a national title. The second brother won a national championship in baseball in Florida. And then, Drake obviously has become what Drake's become.
Is there any animosity, do you think, or a jealousy from the brothers that Drake has become the most successful athlete?
I don't think so. Not that I noticed. I don't know. I mean,
these are good people.
Yeah.
Because that would be almost impossible to hide if I had grown up in a house and spent my entire life trying to achieve something and achieved at a high level, and then someone did better than me and you're all competitive.
The other part of it is, and Bert was saying that Drake is the smallest guy out of all the brothers.
Which is people say that, and you I don't know if I really believe. And then you get
there's a picture that you have that's part of the article where he is the smallest of them. I mean, you can see
developed kind of later than the other ones too,
right?
Didn't he?
There was a point where the one who is just the third one, Bo, who played basketball at North Carolina also. He's like a high school basketball coach and teacher now. He was like, I think it was an exaggeration, but they're only 14 months apart, those two.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
There was a point,
13 years old.
There was a point where they were I think his dad said to me, I think Bo was 100 pounds heavier than Drake, and that's probably.
But
like an
wasn't Bo the one that was like 6'4" and like 250 when
in
he
like
was
seventh grade? Yeah,
yeah. Good grief, a monster.
All right. Well, that was good stuff. You can read that at si.com. Burt Breer in studio. He's been to 18 camps. He's going to more. The New England played last night. If you got anything from that game, Burt, feel free to share it. I didn't.
I'm full of thoughts.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Because I got nothing. Except the kicker, they might be in trouble at kicker.
I will tell you this. I got I'm not climbing up telephone poles or digging ditches here, but 18 camps in 18 days will wear you out a little bit. So I may have been in and out of that game a little bit.
It's okay. We were in and out of it too.
I couldn't watch it. It was too boring. I could not even feign any interest in it. I was like, there's
not
no
into 2 Chainz.
No.
And then Sicario, Day of the Soldado was on at some point. I'm like, oh, well, I can just flip over and watch a little bit of that too.
I watched the Peter North documentary, but there's a certain point with things where I'm like, even if I watch this, I'm not going to get anything out of it because I cannot even pretend to be interested. I know myself.
The white running back, I had no idea who that was when
I don't even know who you're talking about. Yeah. So that was the thing is that
he played most of the game, I think.
I'm like, if I can't even watch this, I have to imagine the vast majority of my audience is not watching this.
Well, I follow college football pretty closely, so when they're and I cover the draft very intently, and so when there's guys that are playing most of the game that I've never heard of, it's usually probably time to.
Yeah. Especially at skill positions. Yeah, it's
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You're like, okay, I should have heard of this kid. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
More. Dutcher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
The snap with an empty center, thrown left, and it's caught by Kyle Williams. Back shoulder along the left sideline for the Patriots touchdown.
Beautiful ball, beautiful recognition from Tommy DeVito there. When you see the back of a defensive back's helmet, you know he's not going to be able to defend anything but the width of his shoulders.
Yeah, well, that explains it.
There you go.
I figured Fred would be excited over all the hoopla over Tommy DeVito.
He doesn't bother me, but yeah, the 2 Chainz thing, there's a guy named 2 Chainz. It's a taken nickname.
Yeah.
As I said, just call him Megatron or, I don't know, that's already taken. They call him DMC. They call him Rakim. They call him Ad Rock.
Mm-hmm.
They call him a lot of things. But yes, the Patriots played last night. What is the modus operandi? You've been to all these camps. What is kind of the idea? Well, first of all, let's do this because I don't want to forget about it. Is Christian Gonzalez hurt, or is because Vrabel's saying that he's hurt, or is this a contract situation? Are joint practices more fraught for injury?
Yeah, I think both things can be true. They are. I think there's no question about that because you hear coaches talk a lot about a guy who knows how to practice and. Veterans know how to practice, right? Well, what that means basically is I know how to get the most out of the practice while also protecting my teammates, which ultimately protects the team, right? So I'm going to go out there and I know how to exert myself and I know how to push myself physically, but I'm going to do it in a way where the guy on the other side of me isn't at any sort of undue risk. A lot of that stuff goes out the window in the joint practices, especially when you're going up against guys who are younger, who are trying to make the team, trying to impress. And so you lose a level of control when you get into a joint practice. And look, I think the other thing about those joint practices is, you could get in a situation with a guy who's a little further down the depth chart who not only is he trying to impress his own coaches, but he doesn't know if he's going to make that team. So this is an opportunity for him to audition for the other team too. So there are all those dynamics at work when you're in the joint practice situation. And I do think 2 things can be true. I think it's he can be nicked up and have a little wear and tear from the early parts of training camp. and it could also be, I got to protect myself a little bit here.
Okay.
It'd be logical, wouldn't it? And
I wouldn't have practiced at all.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, I mean, if I were him, I probably would have said, nope, I'm going to wait until this gets done. And that puts pressure on the team to get it done because they want to get 100% of you. And, I think part of it, again, I know he said it wasn't, but my guess is part of it was the strategy that Witherspoon is, employing in Seattle.
Thought he was hurt after the injury.
Huh?
With the stabbing.
Oh, there we go again.
Okay,
there we go.
Let me.
He keeps pulling it out of the sheath.
Yeah,
before,
there we go.
Nice.
I took a second to register.
Okay,
there.
so I want Bert. What are your thoughts on the Tommy Curran report statement that essentially Gonzalez is negotiating this? It's his understanding that Gonzalez wants a deal that won't be obsolete. He's essentially going into this
100%.
as if he were a free agent already next year, and that's the type of deal that he's looking for.
Right, but I mean, so what does that mean? Okay, I think
it means he wants a deal that's unreasonable for a guy who's still under contract in 2026.
All right, but we all get fixated on the big number, and the big number is the average per year. And that's what's going to be in the headline. And most fans aren't going to pay attention to anything after that, right? Oh, he got 35. Oh, he got 38. And there are so many pieces of the deal that are integral to a deal getting done. What are the guarantees? What's the guarantee structure? Is it fully guaranteed up front, or is it early vesting guarantees, or do the guarantees vest the year that the guarantees are slotted? How fast is the money getting to him, right? So that's cash flow. Is it $10 million in year one, $25 million in year two? All of that stuff is very relevant to how the deals get done. And I know part of the frustration for both Seattle and New England with this was at the start of camp for both teams. I think they had a hard time figuring out what the Gonzalez camp, the Witherspoon camp wanted, because it was basically, we want a market reset by every measure. And you work them off of that, and the compromises can come somewhere else. I would just tell you this. $31.5 million per year ain't getting it done. And it's illogical to think that the player is being greedy for wanting more than that, because the market was set at 30 now 17 months ago. Okay? That the salary cap's jumped since then. Other guys have done deals since then. You could have come to me in February. We could have gotten something done in March. Now we're here in August. And on top of that, look at the deals that are being done elsewhere, right? It's not just the corners. Take quarterbacks out of it. Quarterbacks are a different category. Jalen Carter got $38 million per year. Jeffrey Simmons got $35 million per year. So the defensive tackle market moved. Zay Flowers, who I think is a really good player, but is he a great receiver? No. $35 million per year. If I'm Christian Gonzalez or Devin Witherspoon, that's an important data point, because I'm looking at it and saying, okay, well, you can tell me I shouldn't be up where the top receivers are, where JSN and Jamar Chase are. But Zay Flowers is at 35 now. I'm a better corner than Zay Flowers as a receiver. So don't tell me I'm not worth 35. So I think that piece of it, I think you're crazy if you're criticizing the player for not taking 31 or 32. The market's changed. So I think this materially has to be up around 35 at least. Now the real question is, how fast does that money get to him? How much of it's guaranteed? How's the guarantee structure? And that, I think, is where the deal gets done. But I don't think you're going to be looking at Christian Gonzalez signing for, again, just a little bit more than the last guy. It'd be asinine to ask him to do that. And by the way, I've heard some people talk about this, how good is Christian Gonzalez? He was second team All-Pro last year.
Yeah.
Okay? For you to sit here and say, well, he's not Stingley. if you are in the top 5 in your at your position, right?
Yeah.
If you are the top
doesn't
5,
matter.
you are going to reset the market.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what it is. You don't need to be the best player at your position. We've seen that with quarterbacks over the years.
Is there any urgency from the Patriots' point of view? Because the longer this goes on, someone else is going to step in and get a contract higher. These numbers aren't going to go down.
Right.
If they wait months and months, somebody else is going to reset the market at this time next year. And, you know,
So
I
here's
go
the
back.
interesting one. Surtain. So we've seen like Josh Allen and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes do contracts that are basically like they're not totally new contracts, but they're basically market corrections. I think Patrick Surtain could wind up getting a market correction because he's the best player at his position.
And this would be next year.
No, this could be soon.
Soon. Okay.
Like they could wind up doing that. And if they do that before the season.
Okay. So
right?
then the money is out of sight. So it would really be good if the Patriots could take care of this in the next couple of weeks.
And I believe Surtain's also represented by the same agent.
Okay, so
great.
that's the thing is that, Witherspoon and Gonzalez are both looking for contracts, and they're both corners, and they're both represented by the same agent. And, the belief is like Witherspoon signs, and then Gonzalez immediately makes more money. Is Witherspoon cool with that? Like, how is the agent managing this? If you have two clients with...
I'm sorry, it's not the same agency. I messed that.
Okay.
It was, but it's not anymore. We're just different companies.
Okay, wait, but Witherspoon's the same
Witherspoon's
agent.
the same agent, but
So
Surtain's different. They
that's
used
fine.
to be the same agency.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. But with the Witherspoon things does because they're both coming right now. So how does the agent manage the egos of the two players? Like, is it just understood that Witherspoon would make less than Gonzalez?
I mean, I think the best way to look at this is if you look at what happened with Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Where, it was literally 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And the contracts are nearly identical. And if you look, if you really dig into Bijan Robinson's contract and Jahmyr Gibbs' contract, Robinson won on some things, Gibbs won on some other things. I would say you look at the two contracts, it's okay.
It's like a push.
It's okay. Because you're dealing with different teams too. So what's going to be important to the Lions might be different than what's important to the Falcons. And all of that can relate to precedents they're trying to set for other players and everything else. And that's all part of the negotiation too, is the Seahawks could say, well, to us, it's really important that we don't have guarantees past year 2 because that's going to be a tough precedent for us with the rest of our players, right? For the Patriots, maybe it's we don't want the cash flow in year 1 and year 2 to be quite at that level because that might affect us with Drake May's negotiation next year. So they're and those are just examples, and I'm pulling them out of thin air. There's that's what you're negotiating, right? And again, I think the big number here, and you look at the number of players now, and let's use 35 as the benchmark. I'll pull it up for you guys. The number of players in the NFL that are now making over 35 that are not quarterbacks is actually relatively high. You have, so making over $35 million per year right now, that non-quarterbacks. Justin Jefferson, Zay Flowers, Drake London, Jeffrey Simmons, Quinnen Williams, Max Crosby, Jalen Carter, Daniil Hunter, Jamar Chase, T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Aiden Hutchinson, Micah Parsons, Will Anderson.
And the front of that was all recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
That's a lot of players.
13, 14 players?
I don't know. I actually stopped. I messed up with my hands there. I did the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then
Yeah.
But you guys can count them up.
It's
a lot.
It's that Nantucket counting. Doesn't matter after a certain point. Just have the help write a check. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Patriots.
To create turnovers, it can change the game, and try to defend every blade of grass down there on the goal line, and come up with a big turnover there.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Bert Breer is here from the MMQB. He's been to 18 camps, NFL camps so far, and he's going to some more. Bert, generally, what is the feeling around the league about when to play starters, if to play starters in the preseason?
Yeah, the joint practices have definitely affected that, and your ability to get good work in. I think all this stuff varies more from camp to camp, from team to team than I've ever seen before. I actually saw a couple teams running sprints at the end of practice, which was like, you just don't see it anymore. But the Cowboys did that. The Broncos did that when I was at their camps. I think the rules are so strict around the ability to practice and ramp guys up for this season. And then you have all of these teams that are investing so much money in training and conditioning and like their buildings and the people that are like basically advising them on how to do this and how to get their players ready for the season. And there are so many different answers out there. And I honestly can, remember talking to Sean Payton about this a couple of years ago. And he had mentioned to me how, like, under the 1 year under Nathaniel Hackett, they were the most injured team in the league. The Broncos were. And when they studied it, they looked at it. When Sean Payton and his group studied it and looked at it, they had like a lighter training camp, and they were very healthy going into the season. But then it was like a catastrophe of injuries once they got into the season. And then, Sean Payton, who comes from the Parcells School, practice 2.5 hours, being in pads as much as you can. They would sustain injuries in training camp, but then when they got to the season, they would be a lot healthier. So, like, to your question, Fred, like, I just think because of the nature of the sport, and injuries are such a huge part of the equation when it comes to who the best teams are at the end. There are a lot of different people with a lot of different philosophies on how to do this and whether or not to play your starters in the preseason as a part of it.
Yeah, and it's just the fear of injury. What did you think of Jeremiah Love yesterday?
I mean, I think you can see the talent. That one move, the short area quickness, he has a chance to be a really, really good player. And I was at their camp, and I know the Cardinals are going to be, I guess, if you want to listen to this for fantasy football purposes, you can. They're going to be very judicious about the way they use him this year because I think, like, the way they view it is, why are we going to put a bunch of miles on his odometer if this isn't like the year that we're really...
We were just talking about this last hour. Why use him up now? And by the time he's already used up 26, 27, that's when they get good.
And like, that was sort of the approach the Falcons took with Bijan Robinson. And interestingly enough, Tyler Algier was the other running back in Atlanta. Then he's in Arizona now. Okay. They also have James Conner. So they filled that running back room with options. And I think the idea is rotate them, don't put too much on them this year. And then you hope, like, next year you draft a quarterback. And then Jeremiah Love can become, for that young quarterback, what Zeke Elliott was for Dak Prescott, what Todd Gurley was for Jared Goff. Having a great running back can be awesome for
a team that's decent
for a young quarterback, and so having that, I think, going into 2027 is really what they're looking for.
Was your opinion changed at all, Bert, in your visit to these 18 camps, just like in the macro about the league?
To get you excited
about the league this year? Well, yes, I wanted
to be really good.
Okay, I want an exciting answer to what I think was a good question, right?
Yeah.
And maybe anecdotal evidence, but you saw something at a camp.
Yeah. There are a few teams I think the Lions are going to be really good. I don't think they get anywhere near the credit they deserve for the drafting and developing as well as they have. Like, the amount of guys that they have that they picked over the last 5 years that are now on second contracts is mind blowing. St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Gibbs now, Sewell, Hutchinson, Campbell, Branch will be eventually. Laporta will be eventually. So the Lions are going to be good. I think the other thing that's sort of interesting is there's a handful of teams where I think they're outstanding on one side of the ball, And if they can just get to like average to good on the other side of the ball, they're really going to have something. So I'd put Dallas in that category for sure. Like if Dallas can be just pretty good on defense, I think they're going to be really good on offense. Chicago, I think, is going to be really good on offense. Can they be just pretty good on defense? Cincinnati is a great example of it. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have Houston, where if Houston can be just pretty good on offense, their defense is so dominant.
That Ben Johnson sounds like a lunatic there in Chicago.
That athletic story was just weird.
He's like Kramer. He's sleeping 3 hours a night.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's present when talking to everybody, and he's considered a god according to this article.
50 reps of 600 pounds on the bench press,
squatting 400. I mean, come on, enough.
Houston is an interesting one too, because I think they're like the edge that they have on defense. They're trying to create it on offense, and they have this rookie, Keelan Rutledge is his name, out of Georgia Tech, and apparently like he's been like starting fights in practice and like is like a real brawler.
Oh, good.
And so it's like Houston to me is like the interesting one, because like I think their defense was historic last year.
Yeah, they just need to see what quarterback shows up for them this season.
Right, and that's a huge part of it. And they bring in David Montgomery to be kind of the centerpiece of their running game. And, like again, like they don't need C.J. Stroud to be Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes.
They just need him to be the C.J. Stroud he was in his rookie year.
Right.
One quick question. Are the Bears really going to Indiana? There was that big proclamation yesterday.
It feels like they're huffing and puffing and like, we're really going to do it this time.
It's like the Patriots moving to Hartford, Connecticut. That was my comparison.
I don't think they want to, because if you understand like the dynamics of like that area, all the money in like Chicago, like it's all like north and west of the city, and Indiana, like where they bought that racetrack, which is in the suburbs there, where they were having trouble getting like like help from the state, is in Arlington Heights, which is like smack in the middle of where all the money in Chicago is, right? In the suburbs. And then where the site is in Indiana is close to none of that. So
but when that story first broke, I remember asking about him, like, this isn't real, is it? And you said, oh, it's real. They're looking at it.
Well, because Indiana is giving them anything they want, so
desperate. It's off-putting. It's really off-putting. Yeah. I mean, please.
To be wanted that much really is a turnoff.
Yeah.
Well, and these things are like
too easy.
I mean, so many of these, and it's like it's this like story, and the Patriots like wrote like one of the first chapters of it, but like these constant stories of like pitting municipalities against each other, states against each other, like it's happening with the Chiefs. Had pitted Kansas and Missouri against each other. It happened with the Commanders pitting the District of Columbia and Maryland and Virginia against each other. And now, like, it's another one of those, right? Like, where they're just, like, who's going to give us the best deal when I think we know. Like, it's funny, the Chiefs and Browns are going to put roofs over their stadium, right? Like, and you hear them talk about, like, oh, well, this is going to be great. Those cities aren't getting Super Bowls,
You're right.
So it's just like I kind of
don't you almost have to though? If you build a new stadium, you're gonna get a Super Bowl.
I was in
Detroit
Buffalo.
did.
I was in Buffalo, but Detroit did. But Detroit's much bigger than Kansas City or Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I don't know.
Like I was at Buffalo's new stadium yesterday, and so I got the tour of it, and it's beautiful, by the way. I know they took a beating, but it is really cool inside.
I don't believe those posts.
No, it was all
put chairs behind staircases.
I mean, it feels like a basketball arena almost, the way it's set up, like a bigger version of a basketball arena, and then everyone's like, it's just kind of like it's steep and it's got like the canopy over.
Hey,
really
I'm sorry, we have to break.
Sorry.
But no.
But my whole thing would be like, I think Buffalo was self-aware enough to say, we don't need to we're not getting the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, let's just put grass in and have open air. In Cleveland and Cincinnati, like Cleveland and Kansas City, it's like, oh no, we're going to get big events here. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. All right, Bert. MMQB's got that great article about Drake May and his family. You can read it now at SI.com.
We all read it.
Yeah. Thank you, Bert. We appreciate it. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right, don't be older, gentlemen. Take control. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom.
Night in their preseason opener, but the Patriots had a chance to win the game with a 49-yard field goal.
Play, swinging the leg by Borigalis. His kick to the uprights is no good. Hooked it.
That is Bob Socci last night here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots got a touchdown pass from Tommy DeVito, and defense forced 4 turnovers, but kicker Andy Borigalis missed 3 of his 5 field goal attempts, including that 49-yarder. They had to settle for a 13-13 tie with the Colts in Foxborough. They play Philadelphia at Gillette Stadium a week from tomorrow night. Also, they have placed running back Terrell Jennings on season-ending injured reserve. Caleb Durbin's grand slam in the top of the 8th inning was the big hit of the day. Red Sox went on to win up in Toronto 7-0 to snap a 5-game losing streak. Durbin drove in 5 runs to lead the offense. Peyton Tolley, 8 shutout innings and allowed only 2 hits for the win. Sox play in Pittsburgh tonight. The full NBA regular season schedule was announced yesterday. And for the Celtics, the home opener is Friday night, October 23rd against the Knicks. Jaylen Brown's return to TD Garden will be January 21st. And Bridgewater, Massachusetts beat Gray, Maine last night 8-0 to win the Northeast Regional. They are off to the Little League World Series. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Diving effort. And he's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front. Coming to the slot.
The Sports Hub.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
On YouTube, subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. We all know Skip Bayless. He lived a monk's life. There was a profile of him. He would, in New York City on the weekends, he would pick up a bunch of chicken and broccoli. He would then take that to his one-bedroom apartment outside of Bristol, Connecticut, where he would hole up for 5 days of just intense physical and mental work as he would lift weights because he's ripped. He's legit ripped, or he was at least back then. And then he would have to go and do a half an hour or an hour of sports debate. And if it's an hour, it's really 42 minutes. So, like, it's some fashion of sports debate, which requires 23 hours of work. I don't know if you know that. I mean, you certainly have to get your rest. So, but every waking hour must be spent in a bubble of preparation. You can't over-prepare for something like that. I mean...
No, there's no danger in over-preparing either.
No, absolutely not. But what about Ernestine Sclafani?
Yeah, very good.
I don't know. Maybe.
But I would have believed you.
But we all know her as a PR professional from Long Island, New York. But she's also Mrs. Skip Bayless.
Yes.
Now, she's not taking the last name of Skip Bayless because that would be turning her back on her career and everything that she's established.
Right.
But that brings us to Skip versus Ernestine, which is a weekly podcast and where they discuss pop culture, sports, relationships, dating, and current events. The vibe is Ernestine is famously known. I mean, she's famously known as the only person who can truly beat or check Skip at a debate.
Evil, devious white people.
Right. Well, I'll remember Skip Bayless when he found out about... By the way, if any listeners know anything remotely like this, please send it to me. Because I am fascinated that things like this exist, where a guy who was a major media figure now spends an hour a week putting together this crap with his wife on his couch.
Don't do this.
I just cannot imagine with like a girlfriend or wife just going like, hey, let's just knock something out on the couch.
Sure.
Like, just sit down and you really push back. Like, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Well, what do we know about their show so far? We know Ernestine, like if they had a one of those lists where you could bang someone outside of the marriage, I forget what it's called, like a permission list or something.
Hall pass.
Hall pass. That Ernestine like doesn't even need it because she's already banged all the guys because she was, in PR.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. And then we learned that Skip saw the horror movie with the Creed kid in it.
Sinners.
Michael B. Jordan.
Sinners. And then he came to realize, wait a second.
I still feel so deeply guilty about it.
Yeah, and Skip was alive during the Selma riots and things like that. But he finally occurred to him, wait a second. There has been a little bit of oppression to this community.
These people got a raw deal.
Well, Skip and Ernestine, listen, they're getting older, and listen, it's an open forum to tackle the issues of the day, and theirs is about...
She's okay, John. May have to go out. She's okay. Yes.
Yeah, that's the dog. They're very distracted by the dog, but they don't edit it out, don't worry. They are concerned about the big thing on their minds, which is dying. Something that we'll all experience. It is something that is... out there, our mortality.
It's a fun topic for a loose podcast, just sitting on your couch.
Well, just a couple older married people just chewing the fat about them dying. And here's what they said.
As someone in my 70s, hearing the news of Lindsey Graham's unexpected death.
And that hit us all hard.
Yes. They get emails, by the way. He's reading an email.
Yeah, I mean, of course they get emails, and they must all be addressed. But listen... Everyone just went, wait a second. If it can happen to Lindsay, it can happen to any of us.
And by the way, are they ripping off our bit, the email bit?
Oh, yeah.
They're doing
Nicholas,
the email bit.
Yeah.
Nicholas, there might be quite a civil suit, at least a cease and desist from your attorney.
So what?
Oh.
Wow.
We were the first people ever to come up with a segment where you read the listener email. Everyone knows that. But anyway, if any of you are still reeling from the death of Lindsey Graham, I apologize. I don't want to bring it to the forefront here on a Friday morning where we're trying to have fun.
As someone in my 70s, hearing the news of Lindsey Graham's unexpected death made me reflect on something that affects all of us, regardless of age. Death can come at the most unexpected time. It's a deeply personal and profound subject, but I'm curious, do either of you ever find yourself thinking about your own mortality or how unpredictable life can be?
It's good.
I'd like to meet the emailer who sent that to Skip and Ernestine.
I'd like to listen to this while I'm hiking. This is good stuff.
Skip and Ernestine, am I going to die? What happens after you die, Skip and Ernestine, as all wise one, as our modern Buddha? You have had self-realization. Tell us, you've reached enlightenment.
I don't know. Do you think either one of these people sits around thinking about death? Ernestine?
Well, be my guest.
I
Like
am.
every
If anybody knows anything about Woody Allen, and I'm the biggest Woody Allen fan,
Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not.
he is obsessed with death, and so I am right there. He wrote the movie Love and Death. I'm right there with Woody. I think about death probably 24 hours a day.
She does.
And ever since I think I lost my mother, I obsess over it to the point where I have to pull myself back and get myself out of it, or I can totally flip out. And I do that with my sister, and I do that with my best friend Francesca.
Not to Skip, though, because Skip gets violent. Shut up! And they'll throw stuff. He broke a vase last night.
And the three of us, we do that to the point where we're just saying, okay, I can't even go any further with this because I'm going to flip. So let's forget about it and let's just watch something funny on TV.
That's true.
That's my answer.
Oh, that's a fun show. Jeez. I obsess about it to the point of madness.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, and that email just happened to come in. Are you like, hey, like, this guy died. I've been thinking about death. Do you ever think about death? Oh, yeah.
But it's not like Ernestine is coming at this from nowhere. She's had some near-death experiences.
Well, of course, she was in the high-pressure world of PR, and she's married to Skip Bayless.
But it's not just about the international intrigue of public relations. She's had some close calls.
I mean, when I lived in New York, I got hit by a car. I walk out of my house, I get hit by a car. The week later, I step out of the house, I get hit by a 10-speed bike.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Bicycle, bicycle,
Whoa!
bicycle.
Whoa!
What karma was falling upon you? A higher power was trying to give you some kind of message, Ernestine.
So, and nothing happened to me, thank God, because I was spry as a chicken.
Because I was so high, I was like rubber. They say that the drunk one in the drunk driving accident is the one that survives because they're the only one who doesn't brace. They're all loosey-goosey. I was doing a lot of heroin at the time, Skip, as you know, and so I would just, I'd fall asleep on the street, and then I got hit by a car and a bike. I was just like they called me the human speed bump. And then the bicycle sued me.
The need to add that. You got hit by a car. That's bad. But then you feel the need to go a step further. Said, I got hit by a bike, too.
These were near-death experiences where nothing happened to me.
There's that. There's nothing happened. But what's the front door of their townhome like? Is it like a barber shop? You just open the door, boom, you're on the sidewalk.
Well, somehow I think being hit by a car wasn't a car rolling at 35, like, an SUV taking her out.
Not according to Ernestine.
And nothing happened to me, thank God, because I was spry as a chicken.
Both times.
Yeah.
She got rocked.
Yeah.
She got hit hard
hit
both
by
times.
a car, and then you get
And the
thrown
first
up
time
in the
I
air.
thought she was like...
The talking over each other and Skip needing to get his 2 cents in there is really making it happen for me.
It's good.
And the audio quality is great, too.
It's a good show.
It's a really high production affair.
Incredible.
Right.
Shaky, and then I was out of town. I came back on Friday. It happened on Friday morning. She was fine.
Oh, I was
fine. She got hit hard.
Right, and then that was out of the
She went over the hood of
I
the
went
car.
over the hood, like if you know what a Starsky and Hutch episode is. I rolled off the hood of a car onto
Okay, but the
ground.
point is,
you
it
don't
could have
know.
gone
So
wrong. It could
I
have gone
could be
way
really healthy, but I get hit by a bike, a 10-speed bike, or people walking down the street and a car jumps the curb and kills you.
Hey, you miss your parents? You miss when your parents are in town and you got to have 4 dinners with them in the course of a week? Oh, just put on Ernestine and Skip. Just talking all over each other, talking about, with the bike in the car. Oh, it hit her good. Oh.
What?
It hit me. Oh.
They rocked her. I was fine. She was fine. And she got...
But I was rocked.
I got pulverized by
she got pulverized. You be Ernestine. You be Ernestine. I'll be Skip. Well, I can be Ernestine. You could be Skip.
No, I'll be Ernestine. I step out the front door. And
She steps so far.
I step out onto the sidewalk.
Right
and,
there on the sidewalk.
Oh
it
my
was something.
God, the bicycle he comes out of
I wasn't
nowhere.
there. I was out of town.
There's no ding ding.
And
He
then
doesn't have
you
a
should
bell.
have seen her.
If he
There
had
was
a-
no bell.
if
No
he
one
had a
heard anything.
basket, my tuchus
She wants to die.
Would have been right in the
You know
basket.
your mother
Right in the
obsessed about
basket.
death.
I would have been like a loaf of French bread in a Woody Allen movie.
Oh, she loves Woody Allen. He banged her.
Yeah, so what? So what?
He banged her.
Yeah, so what?
Before he
So
married
what?
the daughter.
Yeah, so what?
He banged her.
Who cares?
Your mother has had sex with a lot of major celebrities.
Yeah, I did. I told you about that, but then I got hit by the car.
We're doing a podcast.
I know. I got to let the dog out.
It's really something. This is reeking
right, so-
of my trip next.
all right.
This is a sign that what my trip to Tennessee is going to be like tomorrow.
Let's do it. Let's do a little circle of life here. We have Ernestine obsessing about death. Maybe Skip can talk about something that's more life-fulfilling, life-affirming, or life-giving.
There's a new rom-com, One Night Only, where the concept of the movie is that premarital sex is limited to a single day of the year. This idea comes across as shaming those who choose to have premarital sex. Would love to hear your thoughts on this subject.
Another email.
Okay, I don't want to get too deep into this, but it is a slippery slope because I have often wished, and I've expressed to you, that from a spiritual perspective, I wish that the New Testament had a book of rules where this is exactly what you should do and not do sexually. This is how you should live. and it's just unclear to me. And so I thought about this concept of premarital sex, which I haven't thought about since I was like 16.
Right.
And it depends on situations.
Yeah.
Well, I think the New Testament chapter would be good if they very specific what's okay and what's not okay. Reverse cowgirl. Yes. Gentle missionary. Yes.
Ernestine says, females are not allowed to give oral sex. It's very clear. Ernestine not overly interested, I don't think, in the New Testament. But she says, Skip, you're not supposed to give oral to men.
See, this is a podcast I'd listen to.
And
this is good.
And I understand that, but it was not written in the book. So how was
No,
I
it's
supposed
very
to know?
clear in Leviticus.
How was I supposed to know? It was not there.
No.
They need a list of
It's
do's
against
and
the
don'ts.
word of God.
Do's and don'ts.
If sex is very important to the man and the woman or the boy and the girl, that you should test drive. You should, maybe you don't go all the way to intercourse, but maybe you should.
Back that up.
Did it fart?
I think that was
Did Ernestine fart out of appreciation?
You should test drive. You should, maybe you don't go all the way to.
Oh, Ernestine. Ernestine farted in agreement.
You should test drive. You should, maybe you don't go all the way.
Oh, boy. Maybe that's Ernestine telling him, don't try to have sex with me.
That's what happens when you try it back there. It
She's
should
like
be
a
in the
skunk
book. Don't
repelling
do
him.
that.
Nicholas, answer the phones. It's not so hard.
To intercourse, but maybe you should kiss and touch enough that you know what each other, your vibrations, if you fit,
Right.
if that works for both of you, right? I didn't have intercourse before I got married.
Thanks, Skip.
Are you kidding me?
No, I wanted to.
That's a good point.
But no one would have
Was
me.
the lack of effort, or was that moral?
So I married a prostitute.
I did, but I felt so guilty and overwrought with guilt.
I still feel so deeply guilty about it.
I didn't have intercourse before I got married, but I did do other things. I don't know.
I don't know. I think the world has changed.
Maybe I was fooling myself.
I think you're
right?
fooling
Okay.
yourself.
Hands.
Sex. The New Testament. Kiss and touch. Vibrations. Go all the way. Intercourse. Sex. I don't know.
He makes a good point. I mean, he really lays it out there.
I don't know. Maybe you touched him or there's vibrations.
I didn't have sex, but I did other stuff. Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So you just used hands.
Whatever.
Yeah, she didn't care.
She's good.
As long as we're not doing it.
Skippy, Ernestine, sitting on their couch podcasting. Skippy,
Nick, you couldn't be slower on these phones.
Even though no one's listening.
I can't enjoy it because Nick cannot answer the phones. It's so hard for him.
Well, it's hard for him to type the stuff, too.
Well, he's on the other side of the... I know there's no way that he needs to... He's doing something that's going to be posted or something after the show.
He had a flat tire this morning.
Yeah, he had a rough
Nick,
go of
you
it.
gotta really prioritize the phones. Even if they're bad phone calls, we don't know that. Why is this not going through now? What? No one can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. The computer that I punch in all the callers' information, it timed out on me.
Yeah,
So now
because
I have
you
to
hadn't been
re-log
doing
on.
it for so long.
But then I didn't have my phone at the time, so I have to go get my phone. Then it times out. Then I have to do it again.
All right. Please prioritize.
I will.
During
John's
the show.
online too, if you want to take his call.
But I don't know what he wants to talk about.
He wants to talk. He wants to make a suggestion for the Skip Bayless podcast.
Okay, John. Hello.
Hello, Freddie T.
What's up?
So I was thinking, I think Skip Bayless probably lost his mind years ago, but I don't know if you guys remember the Richard Sherman incident with him and them maybe they should get on the podcast and argue whose podcast is better. Oh, yes, and possibly have his crazy wife on there, and then she could tell Richard how more intelligent than she is than him, and he'll bark back. So.
Oh, that's right. They had that big fight on TV, right, where he said that he was more intelligent, and Richard Sherman said, "I went to Stanford." Yes, absolutely.
Right.
I do remember that.
Oh yeah, so I would personally I would tune into that, to listen to that bickering. That would be gold.
Well,
so
I could just
want to get you.
I could live stream my parents at dinner, and then you could hear that. That would be the same experience as the Skip and Ernestine podcast. Skip
I think they both have their pants on. Your dad wouldn't have his pants on.
No,
that, so
Well, with the kids around, you never know. He could now that there are more extended family members in the house. He might choose to not wear the bathrobe or the underwear, the tighty whities. But you should have seen Nick cooking on those phones. They were ringing. People were hanging up out of frustration.
Okay, sorry.
What were you doing in there, Nick? I'm just curious. Yeah, put those headphones on. Don't hit the mic first.
I was working on a video.
A video?
And when's that video going to be released?
It just posted.
Yeah. So
a video posted.
But during the show, if the phone's ringing,
oh yeah,
that's the most important thing.
Yes,
but
yes.
you weren't doing that.
I'll get around.
I had to. I got. Listen, it timed out on me. I apologize. It won't happen again. I'm logged on to this computer.
Quit busting my balls.
But it's just like he's doing something for social media, which he's great at, and we need him to do it. But during the show, just like
I'm adding a video for Instagram.
But you could do that at any point during the day. During the show, if the phone's ringing,
Friday.
I need an answer. I'm not mad.
I'm just
thank you, Nicholas.
I'm doing it on Friday. I'm the Instagram Friday morning.
And why are you doing it on the air? Well, because it just happened. So I just need Nicholas on the phone.
I gotta go. Oh,
do the videos. That's great. But as long as you hear that phone.
Sorry, video. I gotta go answer the phone.
All right. Very good. Maybe we'll do a little bit of Jalen Brown.
Skippy B, Ernestine.
He was on the
sitting
Jimmy
on
Kimmel
their
show last night, even though
podcast
Jimmy Kimmel's not there. Maybe we'll play some of that
Ernestine.
for you in just a moment.
Even though no one's listening. More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
Oh, before the season even kicks off, preseason doesn't count. Before the regular season kicks off, everyone's making predictions. Who's going to win the division? Who's going to make the playoffs? Who's going to hoist the Lombardi at the end of the season? Well, you can get in on all these decisions on Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. You can trade your predictions in a live market because there's no house. All you're doing is taking positions like 16% of you have done with the Los Angeles Rams. 8% have taken the Rams of Los Angeles, as Bob Sosi would say. And see what happens during the season. And if you don't like the
Jonathan.
Oh, nice.
Get in there, my haircut. I go, ooh, terrible music. Like, John likes this stuff.
It's a period piece, Fred.
If it was like, but it is funny. Like, turn it up a little bit. Like one of the beats they use is, the sound is.
Yeah. I've said this many times, but it bears repeating. There's so many artists out there that have been around for 45 years that are still touring. No New Jack Swing Band is touring. This was a period piece. It lasted about 6 years, and then it was put away, and no one's gone back to it. Bobby Brown technically is a New Jack Swing guy, and he is toured, but other than that, no.
It's just everyone followed the same blueprint almost immediately.
Well, yeah, Teddy Riley had like 5 beats, and he spread it amongst like 15 groups, and that was it. Made his money, and that was the end.
All right, Jalen Brown has made a lot of money, and now he's on the Philadelphia 76ers. He took time out from streaming to go on conventional media. Very strange. It's the Jimmy Kimmel show, but Jimmy Kimmel is taking a break. I have to imagine the last year has been fairly tough on Jimmy Kimmel. I can't imagine. He's a radio guy. Like, he's a legit. I really like him personally, like when I've hung out with him, which hasn't been for many, many years. But when Dickie was on his show, Dickie Barrett, Kimmel used to come on and like hang out, and then he played clarinet with the Boss Tones at this thing. And I like went there, and I mean, Kimmel's, how guys that were in radio are sympathetic to radio guys.
Yeah, and I liked him too, but I can just picture the two of you really living out together. You just get there.
Oh, it was all politics all the time.
Yeah,
And then Dickie got in, and he was super woke too. He was super into COVID and everything else. And so, yeah, I mean, him and Dickie are like good friends. I mean, that shows you. But anyway, or they were. But anyway, he was a radio guy in Arizona, and then he was on like K-Rock as the sports guy. And so it just got to be weird when you're just like us, but then you became famous, and now the president is like coming after you.
Right.
Just put yourself, no matter who the president is, it could be anyone. Just if the president is coming after you, that's got to be really stressful, like just super stressful, deservedly or not. It's just, as a human being, probably uncomfortable. But who was hosting last night?
This is Anthony Anderson.
Okay, from Blackish.
Yes, that's correct.
I know Anthony Anderson. They really tried to keep that franchise alive with Grownish, but my daughter capped out on that. All right, here is Jaylen Brown talking about, of course, the trade to the 76ers.
My mom, she didn't care about basketball whatsoever. I wasn't allowed to get a B until like high school.
Oh, wow.
If I came home with anything less.
Until high school. Wow. So 3 years of having to get a B, not to get C's. Especially when it's the most important, which is in middle school.
Yeah,
none
that's
of that
right.
goes on a record.
All the transcripts get looked at prior to 9th grade.
Yeah, just like 3 years of having to get B's.
Oh, wow.
If I came home with anything less than a A, then I wouldn't be able to do some of these extracurricular activities that I wanted to do.
Right. Okay. Well, speaking of intelligence, was Boston's intelligent when they traded you to the 76ers to get what they got? And nothing against what they got. I love Paul George, but they got rid of you, champion, all-star, a guy who led the team and, galvanized the team to come back and play the way that they did. And they got rid of you. And what we like to think wasn't a fair trade at all. Your thoughts on that?
I was a little disappointed in how it all went down. But, I mean, to answer your question, I guess we'll find out.
We'll find. Okay, there you go.
That's a gotcha question. That's why Jaylen Brown doesn't do traditional media. It's because you'll get a real hard hitter that gets you reeling. I didn't know where to go with that question.
I didn't know you were going to try and zing me here. What are we doing?
You're so great, and everyone was so dumb for not thinking that. How do you react to that? I guess we'll just have to see. That's why you stick to streaming, because you'll be held to that kind of, you're going to be asked to hard hitters like that.
Yeah, he needs a safe space. This is dangerous territory for him.
All right, and here is how he's been spending his off season.
Well, you know what, man? You've done some wild things, and I've done something that you've done. I want to talk about you jumping out of a plane. And not only did you jump out of a plane, you jumped out of a plane over the pyramids in Egypt.
I did.
Yeah. Do we have that?
I've been to a taping of the Jimmy Kimmel Show. It's a very small room. Very small room.
Thanks.
Okay.
And they have like a bar pre and post show that I was invited to. And so I hung out. It's like basically the green room. And they had free alcohol, so I got pretty loaded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the beginning of the Jimmy Hill, then they have a comedian that comes on before it and everything.
Yeah, and you heckled him because you were drunk.
No, they gave me the mic for a little while, and yeah, I was pretty drunk.
They didn't give you the mic.
They did. The comedian gave me the mic.
Did you warm him up a little bit?
No, I ripped on Dickie. Dickie had him give me the mic, and I made fun of Dickie. Oh yeah, and the audience didn't know what I was doing. No, they didn't. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about why you were in Egypt first and foremost.
Well, I'm turning 30 years old, Anthony, so I'm getting up there.
Okay. Okay, old man. Okay, my birthday's Saturday. I'll be 56. Okay, youngin.
So my 20s are gone.
Okay.
So, like, I'm going into my 30s now. I'm excited about that, but my 20s are gone, so I wanted to do something to kind of encapsulate my 20s.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm a skydive over the pyramids. I'm afraid of heights, by the way.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Afraid of heights, let's jump out of a plane at 12,000 feet above ground. Okay.
Exactly.
I might
was scared
rather
out of my
watch Skip and Ernestine. I don't know if you really made me choose between the two.
All right, here's him on his new teammates.
Embiid, Maxey, and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are building, you're building a super team, man. I mean, how is that? What are you looking forward to in that?
I'm looking forward to every part of the journey, every practice, film session. But, like, honestly, the journey kind of starts now. Like, it doesn't happen overnight where you just can just roll the ball out there and guys are going to be successful. It takes a lot of work. So, I'm not losing sleep, but every single day, not a day goes by where I'm not thinking about how I can help my team and help my teammates and kind of make this thing work. So we got a lot of talent. We got a great opportunity, and I want to make it work. So I'm looking forward to it.
LeBron and Taco Tuesday. When he gets to Philly, are you guys going to have, like, Philly cheesesteak Friday?
We could. That'll be up to him. I'm going to follow his lead.
Okay.
But we could, for sure.
All right.
I don't even know what that means.
There was a video that LeBron posted. He had Anthony Davis in his kitchen when they were both on the Lakers.
I don't think Jaylen Brown knew what he was talking about either.
Yeah, and he said, "It's Taco Tuesday," and everyone went nuts.
I don't think Anthony Anderson's going to end up hosting a talk show.
I don't think so.
This was his audition.
Seems like an affable guy, good
Be a
actor,
problem.
but it's a different gig.
I don't know the difficulty of asking a question that's been written for you on a card.
Right.
I guess he was trying to put it in his own words.
That's right. When you go off script.
Yeah, like, wait, you were skydiving in Egypt? If you're having a conversation, questions come out like that because you're thinking on the fly. But if it's just an interview where there's been prep on both sides, they do
Why
pre-interviews.
Egypt? Aren't you afraid of mummies?
Yeah, something like that.
Something. Anything.
So, Slayer recorded a video in the pyramids. You know how they got in? They bribed the people there with cigarettes and porn.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Slayer has a video for one of their songs that all sound the same, where they're at the pyramids, and the way that they were allowed to film is that the guys that were in charge of the pyramids, they had a bunch of porn that you can't get in Egypt.
What kind of porn? A hustler?
Yeah. We were big in Egypt. It was contraband. They didn't like it because it showed everything. All right, we'll be back. Guccione didn't have the balls on him. Neither that pussy Hefner. But I did. Hee hee. All right, we'll be back. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headline.
Patriots in it.
I think they're just putting the stick in.
10:30 or 11.
10:50.
10:50.
But I'm going to try to get the dog to the place before 10:50.
It was an awful big deal the last time you tried to schedule something on a Friday after the show. You're like, oh, I can't do it.
It made me.
Can't do it.
Your ridicule made me remember that I had to reschedule that, and I did that for today.
Yeah.
Eric, go ahead.
Hey, two quick things for you. Freddie, I sent you an email earlier this week about Nick Hexum doing an interview, and he mentioned his 4 favorite hardcore records. Did you get a chance to check out that at all?
I did see your email, and first of all, if you send a link and I click on it, it goes into this purgatory of hell that is, I don't even know how to operate, but I saw that we have similar tastes, me and Nick Hexum, which I'm not surprised. We're around the same age.
I just thought it was interesting that he said, Milo Goes to College, and for how much you love that band.
They do not sing in patois, though.
Okay, so I just pulled it up. I don't want to step on you, but there's one album in here that is not a hardcore record. I mean, it's a great album.
Well, neither is Milo Goes to College necessarily a hardcore.
So Fugazi, 13 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Brains, Quickness, as you mentioned, Milo Goes to College, but The Clash, London Calling.
I would say certainly 3, and then Quickness by Bad Brains. I wouldn't know if that's a hardcore album either, but who am I to judge? I'm not in that scene. All right, Eric, what else do you got?
There's a special event, I think August 27th at the Woo Sox game. I didn't know if you were aware of this.
What is it?
They're going to be hosting an I Think You Should Leave night.
Really?
Wow.
And they will have, what they will do is they'll have the cigar and the hat on the Jumbotron, I'm sure, and they'll put people's faces on
To
that.
the driving crooner.
Are they getting anyone from the show?
I haven't seen anything on social media otherwise, but I figured you need to know, given how much you appreciate Tim Robinson and all of his glory.
If they got the guy, because Santa Claus has unfortunately passed in real life, the guy who played that.
Oh.
But if they got the guy from the focus group episode, I would be very interested in seeing that. Absolutely.
That would be amazing, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to meet that man. The casting on that show is unbelievable. John wouldn't know, because even though it's something that the listeners and you and I bring up on a regular basis for reference, John can't be bothered in watching that.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
Yeah, like we play clips from it, and John can't be bothered to watch it. He didn't like it. How many episodes did you watch? It's 15 minutes, but how many episodes did you watch?
I watched all but the last episode of the first season.
And nothing in there you found humorous.
It was fine. I just didn't. It wasn't one of those deals where I was just like, I need to watch the rest of it. That's all. I think it was bad. I just wasn't as into it as you are.
There's nothing that you said I got to watch the second time.
Not really. No.
See, my friend called me while they were making it, and he goes, "There's this guy Tim Robinson who's making this show, and I got to see an advanced copy of it because it's being made, a lot of it with Detroit actors." And he said, and he started crying, laughing when he was describing the guy.
I can't stop crying.
Eating the receipt and then getting diarrhea and dying.
So Thursday, August 27th is I Think You Should Stay night at Polar Park. And the Woo Sox Post says, and we would like to formally invite Tim Robinson to be our guest.
He's at every Lions game.
The whole night will be kind of a cosmic gumbo.
Well, that's a good night. But my point is, my friend started crying, and then the minute it came out, I watched it because my friend suggested it.
I watched Dave based on your recommendation,
and you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. Yes.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons of Dave are great.
Yeah.
The third season, he starts shoehorning celebrities in, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's never a good thing.
I don't care for that.
No, and they play themselves. He's being introduced to a wider world.
I
I
don't
don't like that.
I don't care for that.
No.
All right, 27th. What day of the week is that?
You're going to go down?
Today's the 14th, so 2 weeks from yesterday.
I didn't ask what today was.
We have passes, you know.
Oh, Thursday night.
Which is 2 weeks from yesterday. But that's okay.
It's a really good park. It's not as far away as you'd think. I mean, everyone knows where Worcester is, but it doesn't take like a very long time to get there.
It's very easy in and out.
All right, 6:05 first pitch.
I mean, you'd have to go probably a little early.
Yeah.
Dan Roach will hook you up. Dan Roach, as we well know, Dan has run the ballpark.
Yeah, we have passes. Yeah. Maybe I'll go with you, Artie. We'll see. We'll see what kind of mood I'm in. We'll see how this dental work goes today.
Look at that. At the ready.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I got one of those.
I got one of those. It's right by where I put my keys in my house. One of those passes.
Uh-huh.
I hope there's no trouble with the spelling of the last name, though. They spell it radio style. All right. We'll be back. Mike Dussault watched, I would imagine, he watched every play of that game last night.
They got a new the host on the pre- and post-game show.
It's no longer Hardy. He finally dumped an ancillary.
No, they
gig.
replaced him with a legend, a guy that has done this show.
Who?
Troy Brown.
Wow.
They've really upgraded.
Well, as a person, not maybe as a broadcaster, but certainly as a person.
Troy's really good on the air. He's been on this show. I've done stuff with him.
I
He's
loved
good.
having Troy on the air. We had Troy on the air once a week for at least a season.
Yeah, he's really good.
He was great. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's kind of a cosmic gumbo. It almost moves to the beat of jazz.
Are you been aggravated since we turned the mics on.
I don't know what it is. I don't have time to think about that right now.
Toucher and Hardy.
It's ridiculous.
The Sports Hub.
It was good to see Jam come out and have some nice runs, and I felt like he ran with his pads down and had a couple, physical runs and was happy for him. So, this is a great evaluation. We can start to figure out guys that can and start to figure out guys that can't, too.
And that was the case last night as Jam took control. I'll do this early. We got an email real quick before we go to Mike Dussault. Hardy put it up on Instagram at Hardy985.
Because it doesn't translate as well to talk about it. You have to read it.
Yeah, so it's from a teacher. It says, I can't articulate why, but Nick's speech habits have always fascinated me. I'm a teacher, so I have some extra time during the summers, and I started wondering if we can actually spell the way Nick talks. I think I'm onto something. So, John, write these letters down.
All right.
K-W-E-E.
K-W-E-E.
Next word, Y-O-O-Z-I-S.
Y-O-O-Z-I-S.
Yes.
Yep.
Next word, fur, F-U-R.
Mm-hmm.
Next word, D-A.
Mm-hmm.
Next word, R-A-Y-Y-O.
Okay.
Now read that.
Qui uses for the rail.
Yeah.
How about this one? I.
Yep.
P-O-S-S-I-D.
This is a separate word. P-O-S-S.
Yes.
P-O-S-S what?
I-D.
Yep.
Next word, O-N.
Mm-hmm.
And then I-N-S-R-A-M.
R-A-M. I posted on Instagram.
And finally, John, one quick one. E-Y-E-Z.
E-Y-E-Z.
Next word. E-D-D-A-I-N-G.
E-D-D-A-I-N-G.
Yeah, next word A.
Mm-hmm.
Next word V-E-E-Y-O.
V-E-E-Y-O. Eyes. Oh. Eyes Edding Abio.
It sounds all normal to me.
I know. It does. That's how you spell it, too. Did we do a bit where you read the Declaration of Independence?
No, it was the preamble, I think, to the Constitution.
Was that was I here?
Oh, no. Bill of Rights, Constitution.
It was the preamble to the Constitution.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was the speech from Miracle.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I was here. All right. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
It's all
in our
jambling
round.
up. It's all jambling up. All right, Mike Dussault is here. Mike Dussault, thank you for joining us. Mike Dussault from Patriots.com. Hello, Mike.
Good morning.
Listen, is Hardy missed? You have Troy Brown there now.
Was he
Nice.
was he on last night? Did he make his debut?
He was. We also have Jack Webb from Bangor, Maine, who's kind of doing Hardy's old hosting duties. But I think what Hardy would be most jealous of is that we have like a full commercial package now. So we have 2 commercial breaks that are actually maybe about 2 minutes each in length. So that was, I think, Hardy's biggest concern with our show.
2 breaks an hour of 2 minutes each?
2 hours. Two breaks in 2 hours.
Oh.
It's real money-making force.
Wow.
But Troy Brown's really good. We used to have him in once a week.
He was great. I mean, look, it's hard not to sit there and be like, so Troy, tell us about the time you did this. It becomes the Chris Farley, Paul McCartney thing. But he was awesome. I mean, he's got coaching experience. He's got playing experience. He's played both sides of the ball. So really excited to, get going, establish the chemistry. But I thought he was great last night and go from here. Preseason, so we're all working out the kinks.
So what's the show now? Who's on the show? What is it?
It's me and Perillo and Troy, and then Jack Webb is the host. So there's 4 of us all talking ball. So it's a little different, Hardy, than it was just us talking.
All 4 of you for the full pre and post?
Yeah.
That's like the easiest gig in the world.
Yeah, a little less talking for me, and even Kirsch comes down for the post game. So I mean, we got packed house there to
Judd
break
Hirsch?
down.
No. Fred Kirsch comes down like midway through the first segment, and then it's like you have to catch him up because he's the boss. And he's like, well, what have we talked about so far? So then it's like a whole reset.
Oh, yeah, that's very selfish.
Yeah, it is. And he's always like grabbing a donut and he's trying to eat at the same time. And it's like, all right, here's
what
the part.
Piece of crap.
Here's the part where the show sucks while we catch up, the boss. So he feels included.
Oh, he's the worst, right?
Oh yeah. While he's eating a donut,
Yeah. Pig. All right. So I don't even know the guy. I'm kidding. I don't even never heard his name before. All right. Look, how much of that game were you able to focus on? You had to focus on it.
How much could you actually watch?
Yeah, like how much of it until you were making yourself watch it?
Oh yeah, I mean it starts very high, and you're interested to see how they're kind of divvying up the reps. And we knew Drake and most of the starters weren't going to play, and then it's dwindling returns as you go along, and of course then you're down at the end, and they're trading field goals, and we're calling timeouts, and it's like. I feel like we need some banana ball rules maybe for preseason, like running clock. Like if it's a certain score, the clock speeds up. Like we got to do something to speed it up because, man, 13-13 tie, that's about as preseason as it gets.
All right. One thing that came out of yesterday is that the kicker struggled. Borregales was 2 for 5 on field goals. That is got to be a little concerning, right?
It is. And he's been great in camp. That was the weird thing is we feel like he's been pretty much nails since, really since Julian Ashby went out. And then, with this new long snapper who was here previously in the offseason, Nico Lalos, I'm not going to put the blame on the snaps. I'm not that much of a special team savant. You guys should probably have Barth on to talk about that. But we know this league, even when the kicker's doing well, all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's a new kicker here. They got some competition. So I know they like Borregales. He was great last year. He had a little bit of a slow start. So they'll give him a chance to work through it. But you guys know how it goes with kickers in the NFL. I mean, it's here today, gone tomorrow if you start missing kicks consistently. So keep an eye on it this week.
Do you think that there's any chance they bring a kicker in this week?
I think with that position, there always is. I mean, I think he'll have a little bit of a leash, but I don't rule it out completely. I mean,
no, I think he has a leash, and I think he's obviously the favorite. But I wonder if they bring in a kicker like
Vrabel's
today.
not patient. I mean, this is the schedule's much tough. Well, the thing is, the schedule's much tougher. The margin for error for winning is going to be, razor thin.
Well, we do this every year, but how many times has a kicker been the difference? Like everything's the same, and if you have the better kicker, you win the game. I mean,
50-yarders are supposed to be layups. This guy missed 2 of them.
I mean, it could be a 3 or 4 game shift in a season. I mean, it's very important, extremely important.
Yeah, no, something to keep an eye on for sure. I mean, I think there is some trust built up over last year, so you do give the guy a little bit of leeway. But joint practices, I'm sure they'll have some competitive kicks in there against the Eagles this week as well. But yeah, keep an eye on it. But those kickers are always floating around out there. They'll go grab one, and then all of a sudden you look across the locker room, there's another guy suiting up next to you. So something to keep an eye on. But I think they'll give Borregales a little bit of a leash, especially at least until Julian Ashby, the long snapper, gets back.
Mike, watching the game last night, especially with the starters not involved, I wanted to look at their top draft picks. Lomo starting at right tackle and Akis at left defensive end, left edge, whatever it is. Mixed bag from Lomo from what I saw. He had a penalty, but I was waiting for Akis to get to the quarterback, and he didn't. I know that Barth had him for a pressure, and he ran down a guy from behind, a ball carrier from behind, but Akis is supposed to see quarterback, get quarterback.
Yeah, no, I was really focusing on him too. I had the same thought going into it. I wasn't blown away. I mean, I thought he really struggled on some of those option runs that Anthony Richardson had, that he was, picking wrong. And so, look, you give the guy a little bit of a leeway. He came to camp late. I mean, he's been way behind. He wasn't even here for, OTAs or any of that stuff. So I do give him a little bit of that. But I was wanting to see a little bit of juice off the edge, just a little bit of the disruption that was so apparent when he was in college. And I think it's something that really the team desperately needs. So he's another one to keep an eye on. I mean, I thought all the rookies were, have been okay. I think they've had their moments. Eli Raridan, continues to show up with catches, but, you're still waiting for that aha moment, that wow moment with a lot of these guys. So they're young. They got to develop a little bit. I don't think, any of them really needs to be thrown into the fire immediately. But this week will be another great challenge for all those guys going against a great team in the Eagles.
Yeah, I just wonder how much you can really get from, any preseason game. Maybe you got more from practices this week, Mike. And I know you're watching the defense, and we're talking about it here already. But, between the takeaways last night and some of the energy and how the rookies are showing, are you getting a sense of how it's going to be?
I think a little bit. I think it's really important for Vrabel to have that identity that he wants his team to play with, and I think we saw a little bit of it last night. I mean, ball disruption is a key point for them, and 4 takeaways. Perillo always busts my chops about giving guys credits for for interceptions that just are a punt that lands right in their hands. I think there were a couple of those last night. Not sure if that fumble on the goal line was necessarily a fumble, but look, you can't argue with the results. I mean, it would have looked a lot different had they not gotten those 4 turnovers. So, just continuing to see them play with that effort and finish, that buzz phrase that Vrabel loves to use, see them start to come together. But again, it's so hard when you're looking at guys who, let's face it, a lot of them, won't be on the team and won't be part of that fabric. So like you said, take it all with a grain of salt. And certainly in the joint practices, I think you get a little bit more out of those.
Yeah.
Right. Are you expecting anything different for the second game? More starters?
Yeah, I think you probably see a little bit of Drake in there. I mean, I don't think you need to see too much, but it's weird with how early they're playing in the season with kicking things off on a Tuesday night. I think the schedule's a little bit wonky, but I think you got to get Drake in there, just get the feel for the game a little bit. But I wouldn't go crazy with him. You got to protect him at all costs. But with some of the injuries they had on the offensive line last night too, I think those are things to monitor with Ben Brown. I mean, they don't have a lot of depth to begin with on the offensive line, and Ben Brown was really like that sixth guy, that interior swing backup. So hopefully he's okay, because I think losing him and even Andrew Rupsich, the other guy that went out, I think it'd be a pretty big blow to the interior offensive line where, like I said, depth isn't great already.
All right. Well, Mike Dussault, there's nothing more to talk about with the game. That is the end of that.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Mike, if you could have left the game early last night, would you have?
No. I mean, look, I got to do the post-game show, so I could go anywhere. But no, I went down. I was watching the last part from the tunnel, and so the atmosphere was actually pretty good. I mean, I'm sure you guys probably saw all the kids with their shirts off, and Vrabel acknowledged that. So that was a little bit nice just to have a little bit of atmosphere for a preseason game. But man, 13-13 tie, that pretty much says it all.
Everyone's copying the St. Louis Cardinals. They couldn't run out the copy. Something nice and organic happened, and then it had to be bastardized by everyone else across all sports. Nothing can just be. All right. Well, Mike Dussault, you've upset me. But Mike Dussault, everything is at Patriots.com. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
dude. Right, there you go. There you have it. There's really nothing to talk about.
What are you going to do?
Lan Larson ran for 0.1 yards on 7 carries. Or 1 yard. So he averaged 0.1 yards on 7 carries.
Yeah.
Lan Larson from UC Davis. I'm watching highlights right now. He was actually quite good for UC Davis. He leaps over a defender.
Wow.
He's got a lot of stuff going on.
He's in the mix for that third back spot, Fred, now that Jennings has been placed on injured reserve.
I didn't see him run. Why did he only get 1 yard on 7 rushing attempts?
Because he did not have good blocking, apparently.
No, you didn't see it either.
No.
I wonder if he was like taking a knee or something.
I saw Jam Miller.
Well, he squirted loose on one of those runs for 3 yards. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he must have been pushed back quite a bit.
Yeah, but you got to give him credit for that pickup of 3. That's solid.
Focus on Jam Miller.
You get three yards 3 times, and on 4th down, you only got to get 1. Ground and pound, baby. Student body left, student body right. That's how we play.
Do that 6 times, get yourself a touchdown.
Yeah?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. All right. Very good. I don't know. I thought we'd get more out of the preseason game, but there's literally nothing.
That's the problem with the joint practices. I've always found it fascinating that the people who pay for tickets don't get to see the starters, while the people who don't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of odd the way that works out.
So, yesterday the pre-game started here at the station at 4:30, and it was great because you hear the pre-game and it sounds just like the pre-game during the regular season. So it's like, wow, football's back, which is quite exciting, right? So I listened to the station exclusively every time I was in the car from 4:30 until whenever. And then I made sure I was home and I watched some of the pregame for the game on WBZ television, which is different, obviously. So now it's like now it's all local. And you're like, okay. And then the game starts and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody. I know Booty.
You know Chisholm, because you hate him.
No, I knew receivers. Matt Collins.
You know DeVito.
I knew DeVito. I knew Matt Collins.
You could watch Akis. You know who he was.
Yes. I know who Lomu is.
Yeah. I mean, there were guys, kind of, But I mean, backups for Indianapolis. Watching Anthony Richardson struggle was fun for me because you're playing against backups and you still don't perform well. And this guy was the 4th overall.
Why are
pick
you
in the
rooting
draft.
against Anthony Richardson?
I just think it's
what are you going to do to you?
We've spent a lot of time discussing him on this program.
Well, he's just such a phenomenal athlete.
Yes, who can't play quarterback.
No, I know. It's just crazy. I mean, he's got a cannon. Like, he can do things that no one else can do. I mean, there's highlights of him from the pros doing stuff that no one else can do.
Yeah.
But he just can't put it together.
Mm-hmm.
Put it all together and get it in a nice package to where it actually helps you win a football game.
Right. I mean, he was drafted fully on potential. I mean, he barely played anything at Florida. And John just hates him. I don't know what he did.
It's just odd to see somebody like with the amount of time that he's had now still be that raw.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was a starting quarterback for that team.
Yeah, it's like, when does the refinement come?
I think that you need to play more college football. I just think that there's a kid from Miami who's on his 9th year of eligibility.
That's finally going to disappear soon.
Nothing's happened. I don't know.
Well, the NCAA is close to making that happen.
Dusty May was talking, and he said that he's never going back to Michigan. He's never going back to college basketball ever. And he said that there will be a kid that agrees to terms with you on a Monday and then on a Tuesday and, like, sign something. And then the next day he's at another school signing something. Nothing, no contract is binding. There's no rules. Do you know how crazy that is? That you can accept a contract offer, sign a contract, and then it just doesn't matter. Like, the contract is unenforceable. It's.
You want to talk about unenforceable? Providence has a kid that played in the G League last year. And just came back and is going to play for him.
Well, and then they, out of the blue, said, oh, you can get a 5th year of eligibility. So now there's kids, like there's a kid, Kohler, that was on Michigan State. That I like the kid. And I guess Izzo's like, I can't take you back because he probably promised the spots to, like, younger recruits.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, Kohler is like, oh, I can go make, $1 million going to play for, like, Louisville or Brigham Young, or, it's just like, the guy wasn't going to play in the NBA. He was probably going to play overseas. And now he's just like, oh, I'll go back to college for a year. It's crazy.
Yet Calipari has had a lot of quotes. You've seen them floating around online about this. There are college athletes that have, 2 or 3 kids. This is Calipari talking. There are college athletes he has on his roster that have 2 or 3 kids. And if he tries to make the pros, they're going to send him to the G League. So he stays, makes $1 million so he can afford these things. I mean, college athletics is the Wild West. There's no rhyme or reason. I mean, you have really good, like Jay Wright at Villanova. He won't go back because of this. You have no idea who's coming or going in any given year. Guys that are pros can come back and play again. I mean, it's
just they keep testing the rules, and there's never anything's enforced. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the NCAA is powerless to stop it.
I mean, it's just insane how little control the NCAA has over any of that stuff. It's just nuts. I mean, it's just, I watch a lot of Michigan State basketball, and I'm like, oh, there's a picture of Kohler, and I'm like, oh. And they're like, oh, yeah, he can come back now.
Yeah.
He thought his college career was done. I mean, he was eligible for the draft. I'm sure he declared for the draft. No one drafted him.
Well, now you can go through the draft process. Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, there used to be a rule. Well, if you declare for the draft, you can't go back to school. That's gone.
It's just so crazy. Like, he was just having the summer, and then they just all of a sudden said, you can come back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I graduated and everything. But no, it's fine. Oh, just come back. You don't have to go to class. That's all out the window.
Well, am I eligible? Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Details.
I know.
Like, you have to maintain a certain grade point average. It's not high, but you do have to maintain a certain grade point average in college. Like, ostensibly, like, you would have to go to class, like, to stay in school and stay eligible from NCAA guidelines. But I don't even know if that's enforceable. It's like a 2.4 or something. It's not, like, crazy.
It's I guess odd in a way, because we've thought about it this way for so long. And Bert talked about it a couple of weeks ago, how, college athletics, especially football, now has this complete separation from the university. And, they're always going to be linked, or they'll continue to be linked for a long time. But where we kind of thought that before, now it's just accepted. Like, oh, yeah, they're just there to play football. They're really not in school.
So my question is, why watch it if you live in a major city? Because you have actual professional football to watch, which is way better. Why would I watch some awful program if it doesn't matter?
Habit, some weird sense of loyalty. I don't know.
But if they're not connected to your school anymore and it's just a uniform that's running under its own rules, I mean, what are you even rooting for anymore? It's just it's kind of like a con. You're not rooting for your school. This has nothing to do with anything. I can see if you're in Alabama, you got nothing.
Right.
But if you're in anywhere near a professional franchise, I don't know.
And maybe there's enough places like Alabama and Nebraska where they don't have anything else, and this will be what we pay attention to. And even if it's completely fraudulent and they're not trying to make any attempt to disguise that anymore, fine. We got to watch something. This is what we have.
But if I'm running a major sports organization, I'm a little concerned about losing major cities. I don't know how good that is for a televised business. We got everyone in real remote places. Don't worry about anywhere there's congestion of population.
Yeah.
We like cities under 1 million. Okay? That's what we like. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
If you're struggling with mental health or addiction problems, you might be thinking there's nowhere to turn, but there is, and you probably know that. Deep down, you got to take action. And Pillars is a place that delivers mental health and addiction treatment via structured programs. It's more than just weekly therapy. I've met the people at Pillars. It was started by people who met in recovery themselves. This isn't some faceless corporation. These are people trying to help other people. They treat both addiction and mental health with real care. You don't have to pause your life. They have half-day programs that give you flexibility to still be with your family, to still work. You get the help that you believe that you need. You know you need it. Take action. Pillars works with most major insurance plans. Visit pillarshg.com or call 1-757-PILLARS. Pillars Health Group. Care that meets you where you are.
It's colossal lobster roll season at the 99 restaurant. Choose hot buttered or traditional with celery and mayo. Both built to the hilt with chunks of tender North Atlantic lobster. Served with fries and
Let's do the email bit.
It is. It's a very fresh idea to read emails, and our email segment is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. You know?
Yeah, I know.
Nick put a good video of you making fun of Nick.
Oh,
there you go.
Because he wasn't answering the phone.
Okay.
See? Nick being productive right there.
Dan Roach was on the show yesterday.
Yeah, he was.
Hey, guys, love the show. Listened to yesterday's episode late. Apologies if I missed it. But did anyone end up calling Dan out on his Disney knowledge? During the first segment, his comments made me question how much he actually knows about Walt Disney World. I think he may not know Mouse. For example, he didn't tell Fred that Lightning Lanes can be booked a week prior to your first day, not day of, if you're staying on property, as Fred is. I think a game to question how much he actually knows may be necessary.
Crash is now without a job, but he's turning 60 this month. Everyone's getting very old. And he is off to Disney right now with Fat Kid, which we discussed is now his valet. He's unemployed with a valet.
Crash is married, correct?
Yes, as was Fat Kid. And Fat Kid might have married again, but Fat Kid was like had a teen bride while he was a teen.
Oh. All right.
They were like a teen couple from, man. So he was an intern, and he was from a rural, very religious family who I got to know. and it was funny on the air because like there was a whole thing with like Southern Baptists and like rock radio, like it was like a whole fun thing to explore. They'd get all mad at me and then everything else. And then so Fat Kid was married, interning at our station, from a fundamentalist family, went to church every Sunday. Fat Kid is no longer married to that woman.
Oh.
Fat Kid has had a vagabond radio career. Fat Kid now is Crash's valet, of all people. This is a kid from a fundamentalist background. He's now Crash's valet. His life has taken a real 180. And the internship was the first thing.
And Fat Kid is in his 40s, you said?
If he was interning when I was doing the morning show, I was in my 20s when I was doing the morning show, so there's no way he was more than 8 years younger than me. So, yeah he's in his 40s.
All right. Well, that's when you enter your second act in American life, in your 40s.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's good for him.
Well, I mean, this all happened like from the moment he started interning until he was like a sweet kid with a wife and real religious, and he turned his back on all of that.
Yeah, that's first act.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nothing. That's preamble.
Agreed. You talk to enough strippers and Fat
John
Kid,
knows.
Raising the kids in that evangelical like household, you got a real chance of things going sideways there.
So wait, Crash is going to Disney with Fat Kid and leaving his wife at home.
Yes.
Okay.
To my knowledge, it's Crash and Fat Kid.
Well, she works, presumably.
Presumably.
I
yes.
hadn't thought of that.
This
Good
marriage
point.
will last. This is Crash's fourth marriage.
Yes.
But this one, Lady Crash was a bit of a wild card. That was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Then he married Melissa, and
that lasted for a while.
Yeah, it did. But she hated Boston so much, it was almost strange. Like how much she hated it and how much she got on him for the radio and stuff. So I had my doubts about that, and that ended. And then the third marriage, I mean, they'd use Google Translate to communicate.
Well, that was rough because she didn't speak English.
Yeah, and then you go, oh, wait a minute, she doesn't speak English. I said the same thing. So my friend Axel, who's a mutual friend of the two of us, was like, she can't speak English. And I'm like, uh-huh. He's like, no. Crash said she couldn't speak English very well. She can't speak English.
Okay.
Like, she doesn't know the English language.
Well,
even like the rudimentary stuff.
They both spoke the international language of love, and that's all that should have mattered. But
and also, she didn't live in the country. She had the get citizenship through
another
Argentina.
speed bump to navigate.
But it was, and they met at Disney.
No. Sarah from Everett has an email.
Oh, good.
Do you think John's ear tumor was caused by listening to New Jack Swing music?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that's true at all.
Did you get to see the tumor when they removed it?
They offered, before I had the surgery, like, do you want to keep it? And I'm like, no. I've no
But you
interest.
didn't even want to see it?
No interest.
No.
I would have wanted to see it, that juicy tumor.
If I was awake and they pulled something out, I'd want to see it, but I don't need to see it if I was out. When I'm out, do what you will.
Did they tell you? Did they tell you how big it was?
No.
Did you ask?
Well, wait.
They probably told you how big it was before they took it out.
Yeah. No, they told me after, but I was all sorts of. I don't remember much after that.
They always do it in terms.
Woke up in intensive care. It's a whole thing.
They always do it in terms of fruit. Was it like a lemon-sized tumor? Was it a grapefruit?
Was it?
It was volleyball-esque.
Was it a Jim J. Bullock sized tumor? I said they do it in terms of fruits.
No, it was more Paul Lind.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah.
That was the first name.
That was the first Center Square.
Center Square.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking,
right.
Center Square, and I couldn't think Paul Lind. Because that's when they called people fruits.
Right. He was incorrigible.
He really was. And there was this whole idea that, like, he's gay, but, like, we don't talk about it. Like,
yes, that's right.
He
In
pretends,
the 70s, that's what it was.
He pretends that,
Yep.
you know, like, we do this whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole Three's Company, is that Jack had to pretend to be gay.
Right.
Which was, you know, got up Mr. Roper and then later Mr. Furley's craw. There was a lot of, you know, homosexual humor in that.
From Justin, Nick saying it won't happen again for not answering the phones is like saying the sun isn't going to rise. He's been not answering the phones for 20 years.
No, he won't answer the phones again. Oh, yeah, we have a week off. When we come back, Nick will be right back to it. He won't be answering those phones. Don't worry about it. That's why I don't even get mad. That's why I just say go answer the phones. But this time I said answer the phones, and like everyone was like getting off. And then he answered the phone, but he didn't put the information in because it had been signed out.
Oh, he just look at that. He just picked that thing up. I don't even know if there's someone calling. He just wants to be seen.
Well, the problem
phone.
is we get interns that answer the phones now, and then when we don't have an intern, it's left to Nicholas. We're down to a two-man booth.
Yeah,
you understand. And Nicholas has got a lot on his plate. He's got to make videos that could go up at any point. It could go up in the middle of the night, but he's got to do it during the show.
Tyler Milliken's cousin is rejoining us, I'm told.
Yep.
In the fall.
Yeah. Maybe you can get past that weird time he called us.
Yeah, that was really bizarre.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, he reminded me of that. Steve, go ahead.
Hi, Fred. I was just wondering. I heard you say you're headed to Disney. I was just wondering. You said your boy has a scholarship in Maine, and you have a daughter. But aren't they of age? Like they're old for Disney, no?
No, Disney is because we're going to Florida, like the Orlando area, to visit her friend. Her friend's going to school where I went to school. So we're there for 2 days.
Oh, okay.
And I can't stay there all week. And it's February, so I can't like go like do stuff outside necessarily. So Disney's got to kill 3 days, right? That's like my whole thing. Is that Disney will kill 3 days. She's 16, believe me. She's not like dying to go to Disney World, but she wants to see her friend. She's thinking about going to Rollins. So all these things work together. So there's your answer. Tim, go ahead.
Hey, gentlemen. So it was nice of Nick to tell me someone's answering the phone. But based on the Instagram video today, I was really thinking about it for a couple options for a football punishment for the last place, or maybe if you get kicked out like Freddie T did. But would you rather for a day speak like Nick Gemelli or be as slow as him walking around and doing things?
Oh, boy. Well, I couldn't have this job if I spoke like Nick Gemelli, ironically.
Yeah.
Nick, who's chosen a career in radio.
Hang on,
let me think. I guess moving as slow as Nick.
I would take the movement thing, yeah.
Even though my childhood would have been something else. If I moved like Nick, my dad.
Yeah, for a day. That's all.
Just for a day. Yeah, moving like Nick. Yeah, because like what if I had a heart attack or something and I had to call 911? Can you send an ambulance? You know, like that. What? Send an ambulance.
Send an ambulance.
Yeah, Hardy does it better than me. Hardy's got the groove. I don't have that yet.
You just got to get into that flow state.
Yeah,
flow state.
It's like good jazz, man. All right, we only have one more break, and then we are on our separate ways.
We have Tyler Milliken's cousin. Just quick moments from when he did call in.
Had to give you a quick jump scare in the morning, you know. What's going on, Freddie? How are you?
What the hell is he doing?
He's coming back. He'll be here.
Like, hey, Freddie, like we had like
next month.
Hey, Tyler Milliken's cousin who I've never spoken to off the air.
Hey.
People always told him, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking Reggie's heart.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. We will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub.
Are you familiar with scromiting?
No.
This is there has been a 400% increase since October of last year in ER visits that have been attributed to scromiting. But there's a good reason for this. Now, scromiting is a condition where regular marijuana users are hit with debilitating stomach pain, which causes severe nausea, constant vomiting, mixed with screaming. So these people come to the ER, they can't stop throwing up, and they're screaming, and that is where you get the name scromiting. Now, why have the cases increased? Well, that is simply because a specific diagnosis code for this condition, which is officially known as something else with a really long name, cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, I believe is what it's called. The code was added to ER charts. So now physicians can say, oh, this person has this. But apparently it's a real issue.
Why do you scream? Is it because of pain or does it make you scream?
That's a good question, Fred.
Because I can imagine it's very difficult if you can't stop vomiting. Like, I would imagine that's very distressing. So I could see that leading to, like, moaning. But the screaming, that's another whole other thing.
More than two. Oh, here it is. The cases have increased to, oh my goodness, 3,000 in that month, 4,000 in that. All right, so they're in the thousands now per month of people being admitted to the ER with this diagnosis. So what happens is they say it happens. They thought only with regular or everyday marijuana users, but it can happen a lot with edibles, which people take sometimes on a daily basis because they think that's an easier way to just maintain and, keep their dosage at the proper amount.
Well, that's a fool's errand. Those edibles could get you any which way.
Well, they sneak up on you. I've heard.
Those edibles are, they're a real mixed bag. I mean, if you think that every company all the time has the same amount of THC around every part of that chocolate bar, or every gummy has the exact amount, from my experience, that necessarily isn't the truth.
No, and you don't feel it take hold right away like you did if
take
you're smoking
hours
it.
because there's it's the whole digestion of it. It takes a long time.
3 visits per 10,000 to 11 visits per 10,000, and then now it's up to 13. Here's what they say. Obviously, it's not good to be screaming and vomiting nonstop. But they say if this continues, you've got erosion of tooth enamel, acute kidney injury, electrolyte imbalances, dehydration, weight loss, and even seizures.
Is it the kind of weed, or is it just now weed is so potent? Because this doesn't seem to be, if this is all new and weed has been around forever, why is this just happening now?
It's, well, number one, they say the prevalence of the edibles and the vaping of marijuana makes it more accessible to people. And really, it's something that has been going on, but physicians for years would just treat it as some other gastrointestinal disorder. They didn't think it had anything to do with the marijuana.
Oh,
so now it's being diagnosed. It's like, oh, no, there's people who just don't react well to it. And it happens more with women aged 15 to 24 because they can't hold a smoke.
Okay. What are you doing that weed for? Why don't you get wet? Have some of that dust. Come on, Johnny. Come here. Come here, Johnny. Go give them ladies that dust and then make like a lady. Yeah, John. We're going to get wet. Come on, baby.
I don't know if I should be smoking PCP with you.
I'm going to smack your open hand. Mind your P's and Q's.
That's fine. I just
don't, Jack.
I just don't want to take any angel dust.
Yeah, you take angel dust. You can take angel dust either way. But you're going to take my back hand if you speak up again.
All right, Fred, you're off tomorrow?
Jazz Wallach.
Are you taking off tomorrow? You leaving tomorrow? You leaving
I'm leaving
today?
tomorrow morning.
Okay, very good. Wallach, when are you leaving?
About an hour.
He didn't mess around.
Nope.
Well, they're driving.
Yes,
they're driving to me.
Driving, got to beat the traffic up north. Can't be sitting in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, just staring at that bridge.
Like if I could drive to my parents, that would be nice.
Yep.
Would you drive before the nap though?
No, I would want a nap.
You would want a nap first.
But if I do that and you get in the car and you try and drive to Maine at 3, much different experience.
Well, don't take a 4-hour nap. Take a 45-minute nap. Just get a little recharge.
Get in the car, get it over
All
with.
right, this will take 30 seconds. Jake, you had this thing with your stomach?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's you're just puking until there's nothing left. I don't know about the screaming. I don't really know where that came from, but you're just in so much pain until you basically take enough like Ativan to fall asleep, and then it's gone the next day. But it's definitely legitimate.
Did it get you off the weed?
Oh yeah, I had to stop.
Oh.
Yeah, I would imagine once that happens but people drink on Antabuse, so I don't know. I mean, it's a whole thing. Well, listen, all three of us are going to be gone, so it's going to be a real mess around here, just a bunch of losers. So, listen, do your best, but whatevs. Anyway, everyone have a great week. That'll do it for us. Bye.
Enjoy your weekend.